Rich Rebel fans, welcome out here to beautiful Manila, Utah. We are in the gym of the Mustangs out here in Manila. It's a wonderful time and a beautiful drive. If you do make the drive out here to Manila through the Uintas, snow-capped mountains, and, my wife loves to see all the deer as we come out here. Cody Olsen and Melissa Olsen coming to you live from Manila. We're getting ready now for the girls' game, which is going to be coming up momentarily. We're in the final 2.5 minutes of the JV boys' game, and it's fairly decently close. Right now, Rich leads 45-37. Thank you so much for joining us on our Bear Lake Convention and Visitors Bureau pregame show. This has been a battle between the boys right now, and you know what? Manila's boys program has been fantastic, their JV program as well. Rich is in the lead currently at the moment with about 2 minutes left. Thank you so much for joining us here on the Bear Lake Convention and Visitors Bureau pregame show. That's Bear Lake, Utah, and Idaho. The best family vacations happen here. Plan your vacation today. Visit bearlake.org. We're going to go ahead here from them, come back to you in just a moment on our Bear Lake Community Health Center presentation of Rich Rebel Lady Basketball coming up in just a moment's time here on 98.3 The Wildlife.
Early Oregon-bound immigrants traveled through the Bear Lake Valley. U.S. Highway 30 basically follows the Oregon Trail. Many wagon trains stopped at Thomas L. Pegleg Smith Trading Post, located near Dingle, Idaho, for supplies. One traveler wrote of camping along Cotton Line Bear River, watching grass as tall as a man wave in the wind. Today, you don't have to ride in a wagon to visit Bear Lake Valley, but the rich history is still here to enjoy. Visit bearlake.org for more information.
So this is the reserve at Bear Lake, most beautiful place in the world. Come here and find out how you can buy your own Airbnb property and help pay for itself, or just come here and enjoy a second home. Sports courts, pools, hot tubs, access to 200 miles of mountain trails. Brand new homes now starting at $600,000. Quarter shares starting at $250,000. Would like you to invite you to be part of that. Call Gary McKee at Bear Lake Realty at 435-946-8888.
Rich Rebel fans, welcome back here to what is a beautiful gym. Honest to goodness, this is the second time I've been here in Manila, and I cannot begin to tell you how awesome it is. It's a very enclosed gym, only a small set of bleachers on either side, separated a little bit by these brick pillars right behind me to either side. And it's just kind of fun. Here, located on the right side of the gym, multiple banners for the Manila Mustangs. I see a lot of girls volleyball. I see girls basketball, cross country, boys basketball everywhere, and the boys basketball team actually region champions, as I can see here, 2019 and 2020. They want to go ahead and make it also a tradition to continue that in going. But we're actually going to be talking about the girls program right now. There's 1:42 left here in the fourth quarter of the JV game. But we wanted to start here with our scene set of the girls program between the Manila Mustangs and the Rich Rebels. Let's start with the home team with the Manila Mustangs. They're 5-9 on the season, 1-4. 2 wins for the Mustangs since the last meeting, since they met the Rebels last. That's against Bryce Valley and Mount Vernon. They return a few starters, but mostly the name of the game for the Mustangs is the inexperience. I mean, really, they have quite a bit of underclassmen. And Coach Tony Pendleton talked to me in our interview that we'll hear in just a minute how impressive they are in doing so much with just so much inexperience. They have a lot of talent that they're wanting to develop. And right now it starts with just kind of getting that train up and going. As for the Rich Rebels, they're coming off of a loss against North Summit yesterday. That was a tough loss. And the Rich Rebels led for the first quarter, tied it up in the second, and then the North Summit Braves kind of ran away with it. And they're trying to learn from that. 8-8 on the season, 3-1. Right now, the goal for the Rebels here in the month of February, just trying to reach top 7 in the state, in the RPI, getting ready for the state playoff tournament. Thank you so much for joining us here on 98.3 and listening to our MyLocalRadio.com scene set. Set the scene for your business to increase in 2022. Advertise more with MyLocalRadio.com. You're tuned into the Bear Lake Convention and Visitors Bureau pregame show. The Lady Rebel basketball team will be taking the court in 55 seconds or less. No, Actually, 55 seconds or more, because we all know the last minute takes a lot longer than needs to be after the boys JV is done. We'll come back to you in just a moment after a message from our sponsor on a Bear Lake Community Health Center presentation of Rich Rebel Sports, 98.3 The Wildlife.
Atlas Home Care and Hospice provides skilled nursing and physical therapy services in your home in Rich County. In-home service providers include Natalie Cornea, Kylie Argyle, Brady Stokes, and Bradley Holmes. Call Atlas Home Care and Hospice today.
They say the three most important things in life for many people are their faith, their family, and their high school sports. And not necessarily in that order. Advertise where you'll get noticed. Call My Local Radio and become a sports advertiser today. Welcome back to the booth. On behalf of my associate and friend Colton Bagley back in the studio, we welcome you here to our pregame show brought to you by Bear Lake Convention and Visitors Bureau. We'll call the last 43 seconds of the game as the JV boys Manila team is going to throw it up to the top of the arc, and Cornea, who's doubling, gets a lot of playing time both at the JV level and as well on the varsity level, is going to get called for a foul trying to undercut and try and get that steal with 42 seconds left. Important to note that the Rebels are up 7 points, 46-39. That's going to go ahead and send the Mustangs to the line late with 42 seconds left here. Here comes these free throw opportunities for the Mustangs. First one up and good. That's a smooth shot taken there. Now 46-40, still 42.4 left. Kind of gut check time here as it has been very intense, very physical between these two teams. They're not afraid to put their bodies on the line. Second shot looked good, went long, no good. And lane violation on the free throw attempt. It's not going to matter. It will go to the Rebels. Trey Walker will take it out underneath his own basket. Looking for some help. Finally gets it to Pace, who cuts back to Walker. Gets a foul, and that only took less than 2 seconds off the clock, and now double bonus on the other end. Hunter Pace, another individual for the boys basketball program wherein you are just thoroughly impressed with how much time he's been able to put into it. I actually was able to meet with Hunter this week, and one of my guests on Rebel on Record, I know, for those of you who thought I would never get a hold of him, I did, despite popular opinion. He's going to knock down the first free throw, 47-40. And in meeting with Hunter, it was just very enlightening to talk about how much he enjoys basketball. You know, I've met a lot of people out there in my career who genuinely enjoy sports. This is live, drink, breathe sports, and Hunter Pace is one to do it for basketball. Here comes the Mustangs after two attempts there, still 47-40. Now it's going to be a foul on Trey Walker on the near corner on the right side. He's going to foul out, I believe, here in the JV game. No, Trey still coming back. He's just getting a word here from our coach on the sideline located to our left. And it looks like the Mustangs and the Rebels are going to trade a couple they're going to trade a couple free throws here at the very, very end. We'll call these two free throws and go to a commercial break. First one up and good, 47-44 is your score. As the ladies are up and ready, the Rebels located here on the left side of the court, and then just right below me to my right, the Lady Mustangs getting ready to take the court as well. Offensive rebound, put back and good. 43-47 and a quick timeout. And we're going to go ahead and continue on with our Bear Lake Convention and Visitor Bureau's pregame show. 47-43, 27 seconds left here in boys JV. We'll come back to you in 30 seconds on a Bear Lake Community Health Center presentation of Rich Rebel Basketball on 98.3 The Wildlife.
Atlas Home Care and Hospice provides skilled nursing and physical therapy services in your home in Rich County. In-home service providers include Natalie Cornea, Kylie Argyle, Brady Stokes, and Bradley Holmes. Call Atlas Home Care and Hospice today.
They say the three most important things in life for many people are their faith, their family, and their high school sports. And not necessarily in that order. Advertise where you will get noticed. Call My Local Radio and become a sports advertiser today. Welcome back, Rich Rebel fans, here as we get ready for the conclusion of the JV boys game before we dip into the girls game. We're going to go ahead and now recognize that first off, I want to recognize all the parents, all the supporters of Rich Rebel Athletics and the Rich School District. This is a perfect time for me to tell you that the Rich School District offers exceptional education, experience every student with a long track record of student success. Rich School District exits graduates who are college and or career ready. The numbers don't lie. Student graduation has been incredibly high, 100% since 2016. An average of 69% of graduates exit having earned university credit. 95% of graduates have been accepted to a college or university, and graduates since 2018 have received over $1 million in scholarships. At the Rich School District, we know quality education, and that makes a difference. We're kind of located in an interesting part of the gym. We're located here, what would be the south side of the gym, high up in the middle section of the bleachers, up on the right. And we're trying to, it was a little bit of an adventure to find a good spot to nestle in here because the gym is incredibly crowded. We see red, we see black, we see white, and Mustang Pride all over the place. I believe that the student section is mentioned to be the Mustang Posse. 25 seconds, Trey Walker will inbound here, and it's going to go bouncing right back to Trey Walker after tipped by Hunter Pace back in the backcourt. Weston has to kick it out to Cornea, and it's going to go be a turnover, actually. Drake Weston didn't go for the basketball, thinking that someone had touched it. 47-43, long three by the Mustangs, no good. Cornea comes down with the rebound. 9 seconds, out to Pace. They're trying to play keep away. Cornea to Pace. Cornea into Drake Weston. And then Trey Walker's going to get it here, run out the time. The boys team going to go ahead and take this one, 47-43 in the JV department. Stellar work by Trey Walker, Hunter Pace, and Jaden Cornea for being a foundational portion of keeping that lead and holding on to it and nurturing it all the way through. We're going to come back to you and hear from some of our coaches. We got to interview both Coach Tony Pendleton as well as Coach Lundgren. We'll hear from them. And then we'll come back for the start of the girls' game against the Mustangs in just a moment after a break on a Bear Lake Community Health Center presentation of Rich Rebel Sports on 98.3 The Wildlife.
When you enter the city limits of the town of Woodruff, the sign welcomes you to a place with the coldest temps and the warmest hearts. Settled in 1870, we celebrate the values of kindness, compassion, and friendliness, knowing a community's greatness may best be measured by the compassionate actions of its members. Mayor Scott Sabian, council members Millie Bradshaw, Raymond Franson, Kent Stewart, and Jason Peterson, with Secretary Lisa Bell, welcome you and say, Go Rich Rebel!
Welcome back to the Bear Lake Convention and Visitors Bureau pregame show. Now, now it is a time for me to thank the town of Woodruff for allowing me to meet with our student athletes. We're going to go ahead and hear from Hunter Pace at halftime. And that was a fun interview, just kind of being able to meet with him. But first, let's go ahead and hear from the opposing coach, Tony Pendleton. And I want to go ahead and thank Pam Cornea at Town & Country Realty for being our sole sponsor of the pregame coaches show. That's selling Bear Lake in Utah and Idaho. Call Pam Cornea at 435-779-0012. Let's go ahead and hear from Coach Pendleton. Coach Pendleton, take it away. Rich Rebel fans, here again on the Coaches Show. I'm joined here with Manila girls basketball coach Tony Pendleton. Coach Pendleton, it's great to catch up with you. We're excited for this matchup, a region matchup between the Rich Rebels and the Manila Mustangs. I guess my first question here, Coach, is you have a lot of newcomers, a lot of freshmen coming in, quite a few underclassmen that are getting varsity time that really haven't seen that in past seasons. Coach, what has been the biggest hurdle for you with working with such a young squad?
Probably just the experience and getting them the experience, and then having JV games and varsity games and not really getting a chance to like have a break and stuff, I guess. So like they're playing like a whole JV game and then they happen to go back and play another whole varsity game. So just getting used to like how to handle like the pressure of it all, I guess.
I know last fall I spoke with the volleyball program, and they kind of had a similar situation where girls are playing, 2-3 games at a time. Do you feel as though that the extra experience is giving you a leg up in developing these girls?
Oh, of course. Like, I think that it's definitely like having the extra game before even, I mean, they might be a little bit like fatigued, but not bad. I think it gives them more adrenaline for the next game, as a matter of fact. So I think it's been awesome.
Coach, right now, looking at the RPI, the Manila girls program sits at 16th. Is there a goal as a program, as a team, that the Mustangs are shooting for in terms of playoff seeding before the end of February?
Just trying to stay up high enough to when we get a playing game, we can hopefully have home court advantage.
Coach, the girls who make up your team, there's a few new ones, even to people within Manila High School. Can you talk to me a little bit about the roster? Who are these girls, and what has been their strength so far as a team this year?
Oh, personalities. They all have great attitudes. So like they're all like, they come to practice excited every day and want to play. And then just like the freshman girls have brought such a new atmosphere to the group, and then the seniors have good leadership and they do some great stuff. I don't know, like all in all, they're just a great bunch of girls, if that answers your question.
You've been coaching here, and it sounds as though that there's a lot of great positivity. The girls are having a really good time in the Manila program. For you, what has been the greatest joy for you being the girls basketball coach in Manila?
Like this year's been really good because they're having the new excitement that the girls bring to the court. Like everybody's excited to play. They just want to be there, so it just makes it. And there's just more. Like we actually have enough to play 5-on-5 in practice this year. It's kind of so it just brings a whole new atmosphere to everything.
Is that is it unique to now have enough people on the program for Manila to do 5-on-5? Is that not something that's happened in the past?
We've been down on numbers for the last 3 years, yeah. So like this has been the first time it's been like you have we have 10 this year, which is pretty. This is my 4th year. My first year I had 10, and then I was down to like 7 and 7, and then now I'm back to 10. So it's just been a really small team for the last 4 years.
Do you feel like the environment has been positive enough in the girls basketball program that maybe the girls are talking to other people in the school like, hey, let's go get basketball started. Let's grab some more people. Would you be supportive of that?
Oh, heck yeah. And I mean, always welcome new people to come join the team for sure. Yes. And we just have a low number of girls in our school in general, so like by the time you have cheerleaders and basketball players, it's pretty much all of them. So I'm just fortunate to have what I have.
Coach, let's talk a little bit about the last time the Rich Rebels and the Mustangs met. It was up in Randolph. The Rebels came away with a win in that one. However, anything could happen. That's the beauty and joy of sports. As a coach, what's the biggest thing that your girls have improved on since having last met the Rebels in Randolph a couple weeks ago?
I think they've improved on everything, offensively, defensively. They're conditioned well. I mean, they just work so hard in practice that we just keep getting. I feel like we just get better and better. Like every game, we just gain more experience, and you know what I'm saying? Like, just we try and take a positive from every situation and then build on it from there.
Thank you so much, Coach. We'll catch you later. That was Coach Tony Pendleton, and it was a joy to be able to meet with her and get a view as to how the Mustangs are feeling, what's going on, and what kind of their goals are right now. As for the goals for the Rich Rebels, we'll touch up on that in just a moment after we get back from a quick break from our sponsors on 98.3 and a Bear Lake Community Health Center presentation on mylocalradio.com.
When you think about Bear Lake, think family, fun, fishing, beaches, boats, green, and great food. Think water, wildlife, trails, and shakes, snow, scenery, and sun. Think summer. Go to bearlake.org and plan your visit today. Visit Scenic Idaho.
Welcome back to the booth. We're here in Manila, about 3 minutes away from tip-off between the Lady Mustangs and the Lady Rebels. Lady Rebels coming off of a loss in North Summit, and the Mustangs also trying to get a winning streak of their own going. Pam Cornea at Town & Country Realty allowed me to go ahead and meet with Coach Cody Lundgren to be able to meet with him and talk a little bit about the goals that the Rich Rebels have, what their view is, and, just trying to come back. They played a very, very, very good team in North Summit the day before, and they did that in 6 consecutive days. Sandwiched in between those 2 matchups between the Braves was a game out in Wendover that the Lady Rebels won. So, 2 losses to the Braves, higher classification team, and a win against Wendover, and now you're looking at something that perhaps the Lady Rebels view as an opportunity. We're in the middle of region play. We're getting now, and Coach Cody Lundgren emphasized that you want to be top 7. You want to be able to host a playoff game. You want to host a play-in game, and you don't want to play away from home. You want to get ready. You want to have enough underneath your belt to feel experienced, and I feel like the Rich Rebels do. Even though those losses are still losses to North Summit, that is still a high classification team. That is still an incredible opportunity to get high level of play, even late in the season. And right now I feel like the Lady Rebels are trying to hit their stride. They're just there. Coach Cody Lundgren made an emphasis of that. Special thanks here to everybody and all the listeners that are joining in on 98.3 as well as on mylocalradio.com. The Lady Rebels, Lady Mustangs tipping off in less than a minute. We'll take our quick break, come back to you with our Lake Town Ledger, and get ready for tip-off in just a moment on a Bear Lake Community Health Center presentation of Rich Rebel Lady Basketball 98.3, The Wildlife. Success is no accident. It comes from constant hard work, perseverance, sacrifice, and learning from failure. Lake Town Mayor Burdette Weston and council members Dallas Clark, Gary Ogilvie, Eldon Robinson, and Delora Wright encourage the Rich High Rebels to continue to do whatever it takes to succeed in academics, activities, and athletics. The Town Council and citizens of Lake Town celebrate the success of all the students and staff in the Rich School District. Welcome back to the broadcast booth on our Bear Lake Convention and Visitors Bureau pregame show, our Lake Town Ledger, showing us that the Rich Rebel girls are 27-0 versus the Manila Mustangs all-time. This will be the second meeting, Rich winning the first one only a couple weeks ago. That's the Lake Town Ledger keeping us up to date as to what the record is between these two teams, statistics, and right now we're going to go into the presentation of the colors, come back to you in just a moment.
Now you've got a safe and secure place to store your boat, RV, ATVs, and other vehicles right in town. T-Bar Body Shop offers storage for just $35 per month. Long and short-term storage options are available. Of course, T-Bar Body Shop also offers custom bodywork when you have an accident. We work with your insurance directly and get the job done right. T-Bar Body Shop offers a wide range of services. Stop in today and see all the ways T-Bar can serve you. 515 County Road, Evanston. Let T-Bar fix your car.
This presentation on mylocalradio.com is also brought to you in part by Hoover Chiropractic. With over 3 decades of experience, Dr. Todd Hoover can help you with all the chiropractic work you need, plus x-rays, blood work, a weight loss program, and can help you get rid of allergies and migraines. Dr. Todd Hoover with Hoover Chiropractic in Evanston.
Was
A wonderful rendition of our national anthem performed here before tip-off, as now we get ready for our Lutz Construction starting lineup. Here come the Rich Rebels first. And then the Manila Mustangs will come second. Lutz Construction is here to help you. Darlene Peterson will be getting the start tonight. She found herself in foul trouble last night. We'll see if she can get out of that and out of that trend, as she's huge for this basketball team. Ambria Lutz, all smiles as she comes and does a chest bump with Tylee Tingy. Comes out to shake Coach Lundgren's hand. Taylor McKee as well. Brittany Lamborn, stellar defense, a defensive MVP for sure for this team. And then Mackenzie Smith. Now here comes the Manila Mustangs as we get the ambiance, the lights turn off. We get all excited here for the Manila Mustangs. Getting up and ready to go. Reagan Browning, the freshman guard, getting the start for the Manila Mustangs. Cameron Slaw, the freshman guard as well. 2 freshmen already in the starting lineup. Abby Schofield, the freshman. No, this is a sophomore. Abby, the sophomore, in the front court. Number 11, Aurora Draper. Perfect. And I believe that's Guyman, the senior. So here comes your opening tip-off, as our starting lineup today was brought to you by Lutz Construction, Excavation, and Landscape. Premier commercial and residential excavation and landscaping. We dig Bear Lake. Call 435-946-8678. Our My Local Radio tip-off today coming up to you live as we get ready now to get ready for the start of our first quarter. Brought to you by T7 Propane. Here it goes, opening tip-off won by Darlene Peterson. The Rebels will start off with the basketball. Taylor McKee working to the right side first. Brittany Lamborn, a quick feed to Mackenzie Smith. It'll bounce off of Guyman's foot, go rolling into the arms of Manila. Number 1, Reagan Browning, the freshman, manning the point, working with Slaw on the right side wing. Cross court all the way. Slaw slips in between Darlene Peterson, McKee, and Ambria Lutz, and the first points scored by the Manila Mustangs. By Slaw, Cameron Slaw, impressive. Taylor McKee taking the long 3, and that's just going to graze the front of the rim. Get reeled in by the Mustangs, and the ball will go up for grabs right at their own free throw line and go and end up in the arms back to Browning. Browning slowing it back down, calling out to her teammates, trying to figure out what kind of offense they're rolling in. Slaw will get it out on the right side. Wing extended, poked away. Darlene Peterson with a deflection ends up back in the arms of Aurora Draper. Now into the paint, it will go squeezing in between Rebels, and Mackenzie Smith is going to come away with the steal. Ambria Lutz right at the 10-foot line, right above the arc, will go left to McKee. Cross-court pass to Smith, who takes the 3 ball. That one's good. Huge 3 ball by Mackenzie Smith, and that will be the first points of the game for the Lady Rebels. Reagan Browning picks up her dribble, goes right to Slaw again. They've gone to the right side for Slaw a couple times, drives baseline, and a foul before the shot on Ambria Lutz. That's a push and a substitution quickly as get a substitution for the Manila Mustangs. Slaw working around, finding the senior. Guyman up with the right hand and good right underneath the basket. Manila in the lead, 4-3. Lutz gets it on the right side, goes back and pitches it back to McKee, who's going to drive, and then now to Lamborn. Just inside the arc, Lamborn just bricks it off, no good. And another foul as the Lady Mustangs are getting tangled up here with the Manila, the Lady Rebels and the Manila Mustangs, kind of getting tangled up there for the defensive rebound. 6:10 left here in the ball game. Here in our first quarter. Here comes the Lady Mustangs on the right side, working it in, and then a kick out. Short corner three, no good, and Taylor McKee comes down with the rebound. Pushing it quickly across the floor. McKee driving into the lane underneath a couple arms. Is going to go off the backboard and then off the rim, and then Darlene Peterson tries to track it down. Will get hit from behind, and that's Slaw. Slaw pats her on the back, says, my bad, we kind of got tripped up in the leg department there, and the ball will go careening onto the far side in front of the bleachers. Lamborn back to McKee. Quick three, and McKee misses another one. Mackenzie Smith with the offensive rebound. Then Darlene Peterson gets it off the boards. Darlene shoots it, just barely gets it off, and Smith is going to get a push in the back right on Abby Schofield, and another foul on the Lady Rebels. Here comes the Lady Mustangs. Quirkly work Schofield on the left elbow. Tried to get it to Slaw, and Slaw cut to the basket left, and the ball went right. No good. 5.5 minutes left here. Inbound to Lamborn, then back to Lutz, who's going to go working on the right side. McKee on the right side baseline, cross the court into the key. Lamborn leaves it short, and Mackenzie Smith not able to reel it in. Instead, Slaw is able to grab the defensive rebound and then bounce it off the foot of Darlene Peterson and will go out the baseline. Here we go, Coach Cody Lundgren trying to get his girls in position, and the Lady Mustangs are going to split the entire Rebel defense all the way down the court. Dribble stop. Browning trying to find Slaw. Now Schofield ends up with it on the left side wing. Ladies rolling out on the ground. Browning off of the arms of Lamborn into the arms of Slaw, who floats it up. No good. And it's going to be last touched by a Lady Mustang. Out of bounds underneath the baseline. And right now, Manila still up 4-3 with 4:50 left in the ball game. Lamborn now right side to McKee, dribble right baseline underneath the basket out to the left side wing Lutz, who dribbles to the right in front of the free throw line, and then back out to Lamborn right side. Alone, Darlene Peterson shoots the mid-range J, and that's going to be too far off of a Lady Mustang, who goes for the defensive rebound and will go falling out of bounds. We're going to get our first Crawford, well, probably not our first Crawford trough inbound. We've had a few today. Inbound. Lamborn feeding Peterson, leaving her feet out for Smith for three. That's off the front of the rim. Lamborn gets the offensive rebound up and underneath the defense, up with the right hand, and good. Slick move by Lamborn to get the offensive rebound and to go up, and now the Rebels up 5-4. Cameron Slaw gets a screen, pick and roll there, and a foul. McKee got right in front of Callie Bear, the freshman forward. And she's going to have a chance for 2 points here at the free throw line. Holding positioning, deep, low squat. Bear jumps up and rolls it in. Maybe touch the front of the rim just a little bit, but not enough to alter anything more than putting that right in the basket. Great shot from Bear. She's going to get her second opportunity here from the line. The Lady Mustangs in all white, black and red accent, and a lane violation on the Mustangs that will go the other way after the miss. Rebels will get it on their own baseline. Ambria Lutz crossing her own free throw line and then the half-court line. Right-hand dribble, a pitch out to Lamborn on the left. McKee looks inside for Smith and decides to put it back out to the guards at the top of the arc. Lamborn dribbling up against here, and then McKee on the right side baseline getting the feed up and underneath again. Another good move, and that one's great from McKee. That was actually a left-hand shot as she came in from the right side baseline. Off the glass and good. 7-5, and the Rebels trying to stop the Mustangs, but that's not going to work as another Callie Bear driving to the hoop. She actually spun around, getting it here on the left block, had her back to the basket, turned to her left, and kind of put up a little bit of a baby hook there. She got fouled by Smith. didn't make the basket, but now she's back at the free throw line for some more points. Bear, that time, uses the rim and the backboard, knocks it in at 1 point differential. Mustangs down by 1. Bear. Second shot, this time off the backboard. The bank is open for the Lady Mustangs. 7-7 is your score. Darlene Peterson to inbound to Ambria Lutz. Now the Rebels trying to answer on their own. The Rebels in their all blues, white accents, white numerals. Darlene Peterson getting fed from the left side by Lamborn, and a defensive rebound there by Guyman. Browning, right side all the way, and she loses the basketball. It has to go back out to Slaw, who goes up and underneath. Another foul. Ambria Lutz had her hands too far in there, and another foul. The Lady Rebels giving up quite a few fouls right now. They have given up 6 already here with 3 minutes left here in our T7 Propane first quarter. The score is tied 7-7. Slaw. No good on that one. A double touch inside the rim, and then it jumps out to the right. No good. We get a "Let's go Cameron" chant from the opposite side of the gym. And with that extra motivation, Slaw knocks it home. They lead 8-7. 3 minutes left here in our T7 Propane first quarter. Lamborn now to Violet Taylor, who almost loses the basketball, has to track it down on the near side, feeds Darlene Peterson. Back out to Violet. Lamborn, left side elbow, dribbles out to the left side wing, has to get out of trouble, feeds Ellie Argyle. Argyle tried to go up and around, and now a jump ball here underneath in the paint, as the Manila defense was right in the passing lane, more specifically Kate Bambro, the sophomore. And the possession arrow is going to go to the Lady Mustangs. Waiting down at the end of our first quarter, under 3 minutes left here. The Mustangs up by 1 in the point department. A dribble drive and poked away Darlene Peterson, hounding a Lady Mustang here on the right side wing, and a foul. Darlene wanted that jump ball, but instead she's going to go ahead and get a foul. For the leading scorers. And now, something that we do not see very often. Here comes the Lady Mustangs to the line for 1-and-1 bonus with 2.5 minutes left here in the first quarter. Darlene Peterson, high off of the glass, has to rip it down off the boards. Violet Taylor getting behind the defense, and then a foul here as she drove into the paint from the right side wing. That's a foul on Abby Schofield. Hey, find out who number 2 is. Violet Taylor here with the first chance at the line. Puts that one up and good. Now we are tied 8-8. Here comes the second opportunity. This time for a chance for the lead. High off the glass and no good. Falling out of bounds, and a travel call as a couple ladies, both going for it from either team, will fall out of bounds on their behinds, and that's going to be called for a travel. Score is tied 8-8, 2:22 left in the ball game, and a feed. Ellie Argyle not able to hold on to it, as that was a feed from Darlene Peterson. Browning getting the inbound, and again shouting out instructions to her teammates. Aurora Draper on the left side, right above the arc, has to get it out to Browning, far on the right side corner. Ball up for grabs in the paint. It's knocked around and probably kicked by a Rich Rebel. Ends up in the arms of Browning on the right side. Browning working up against Lamborn. Tries to get past her, cannot. And now Schofield takes a little jumper here on the left side. Darlene Peterson with another defensive rebound. Darlene to McKee. And then splitting the defense. What an assist by Taylor McKee, finding Ellie Argyle here on the right side block. That puts up the Rebels by 2, 10-8. 1:34 left in our first quarter, brought to you by T7 Propane. And a candidate for our Plains Tire points in the paint. That's tires, wheels, vehicle maintenance, all with a smile. Lady Mustangs here, and now Sadie Davis gets pit-pocketed by Taylor McKee, working all the way down the court from left to right, up with the left hand. Pretty. Coast to coast. Steal and drive from Taylor McKee, and a T7 an Independent Software Solutions timeout. We'll go ahead, take it, and dip into our Bear Lake Realty fan cam. You can probably see within our fan cam the man that you want to call for real estate in Bear Lake. Your new home in Bear Lake is one phone call away. That's 435-946-8888. What a way to find a beautiful place to live in the Bear Lake area. That's Bear Lake Realty. We've seen an interesting first quarter as the Lady Rebels have been in foul trouble early, but they currently lead by 4. Excuse me, I have to fix that. 8-12, the Lady Rebels in the lead. Stolen away, Darlene Peterson, 2-on-1 fast break, feeding to Lamborn on the left side. Lamborn has a Lady Mustang caught up underneath her, and they both go tumbling underneath the basket, almost into the padding and into the cheerleaders. A foul on the shot. That's going to be on number 11, Aurora Draper, who I think just got caught up in a bad position and kind of got up and underneath Brittany Lamborn. Lamborn's first Bear Lake Realty free throw will dance on the rim and fall in. 13-8. Lamborn's second opportunity. That one didn't need to use the rim at all. That one's up and good. Swoosh. Nothing but net. Now Reagan Browning and company down by 6. Working on the left side. Slaw on the far side, left wing extended. Gets a screen, picks up her dribble, and now has to be bailed out to the top. Finding herself alone, Draper takes a long 2. No good. It's off the glass. Ellie Argyle finds herself in great position. Outlets it out here to the near side for Taylor McKee. Another feed inside to Darlene Peterson, this time from Violet Taylor, goes up and over as Darlene decides to pass that ball up over the top of Brittany Lamborn. Darlene gets it back there and then finds Ellie Argyle with an easy positioning and a little layup there on the left side block. 16-8. Mustangs trying to stop this run, and a travel violation on Reagan Browning definitely is not going to help for sure. 18 seconds left here in our first quarter. The ball will go back to the Rebels. Taylor McKee puts her arms up, says everybody needs to calm down just a little bit. Lamborn here on the right side wing, back into Peterson. Peterson tried to roll it off the glass and no good. Lamborn dances it off the front of the rim on her attempt, and that's going to be no good as well. Jump ball, dual possession underneath the basket. It will stay with the Rebels with 3 seconds, closer to 4 left. It's 3.9. McKee up to the top. Lamborn back to McKee. Long 3 from the left side. Rolls out. No good. Your final, your score at the end of 1. Rich Rebels 16, Manila 8. We'll come back to you in 60 seconds here for our second quarter on a Bear Lake Community Health Center presentation of Rich Rebel Sports on 98.3 The Wildlife.
Whether it's for your home, your ranch, your equipment, or your business, when you need propane, count on the best. T7 Propane in Woodruff. The safe and professional team at T7 Propane offers quality product and the most responsive propane service in the area, so you can enjoy the affordability, reliability, and efficiency of propane. For heating, cooking, grilling, motor fuel, and more, count on the team at T7 for your personal or business propane needs. 435-793-4208.
Sometimes you just start craving a really good, juicy burger. Add cheese, maybe some bacon, and all the fixins that make every bite even better than the bite before it. Add a side of hand-cut fries, onion rings, or crisp tater tots, and top it off with an amazing ice cream cone. Or maybe a raspberry shake. Just thinking about it makes me hungry. When your stomach is grumbling like an angry bear and your cravings call out, head right down to the Crawford Trough in Randolph. The place to eat and drink. Stop in today.
Welcome back to the second quarter here as we now dip into our Stacy's Repair section of the ball game. The Rebels getting the defensive rebound a la Haiti Pugmire. Backed out to McKee on the left, on the right side, dribbling up the court. Still 16-8 for the Rebels, and Ellie Argyle gets a great pass up above her head and puts it up high off the top right corner and in on the right side. Now 18 points for the Rebels, 10-point differential. Sadie Davis on the left elbow, back up to the top for Browning. Browning does not dribble, gets it out to Slaw on the right side, cut off immediately by Argyle. Davis here into Browning on the left side. Again, another wall right at the free throw line, pushing the Mustangs back, not able to penetrate really. Here we go, left elbow. This is Bambro, who has to put it right back into the guard's hands up at the top. Stellar defense by the Rebels has been limiting any type of shots. Sadie Davis, long three, off the back iron, off the backboard, no good. She gets her own rebound, puts it right back, and misses it twice. Now the Rebels up with it. Cassidy Grohl gets bumped, goes flying. Way to take a good fall right there. Cassidy Grohl will find herself at the line after a blocking foul on Sadie Davis. This is Cassidy's first attempt here from the Bear Lake Realty free throw line. She makes the most of the first shot, now 19-8. You know, the opening quarter started off with a big three by Mackenzie Smith, and then no other threes have been made in this ball game. Mostly finding some inside work. Points in the paint, brought to you by Plains Tire, has happened for both teams, really. Rolling out to the right off the missed free throw attempt. Here comes Browning getting the outlet. Now to Slaw. Right side extended. Goes baseline right side. Floats it on up. Misses it to the left. And now McKee ends up with the basketball. Pushing it down the court quickly. Now Violet Taylor right side. She floats that one up. This time too slow. Tips it out to Haiti Pugmire as that was smart. Violet Taylor missed her first shot. Saw that she had missed it, and instead of trying to come down with it, tipped it to an open Rebel here on the left block, and Pugmire gets her first points of the game. Violet Taylor working up against Browning. Stripped, taken away. Violet now pushing, has McKee in front of her, finds McKee, up with the left hand, no good, but a foul. Another foul on Sadie Davis. That's two in a row pretty quickly for her. I think a substitution will be coming in. Callie Bear. Taylor McKee missed the initial shot, but makes her first free throw from the Bear Lake Realty free throw line, 22-8. Excuse me. Still 21-8. Ambria Lutz coming out of the ball game, takes a seat. McKee puts that one up and in. Now Ambria is going to come back into the game for McKee, for shooter, I guess. As we got a little bit of a mix-up and a smile exchanged between Ambria and Coach Lundgren. Now the Mustangs find themselves in a little bit of a hole, need to find some points right now. Right elbow Bear. Out to Schofield, and then Sadie Davis gets it up at the very top of the arc. Browning kept her pivot foot, throws it up as Darlene Peterson was hounding her on defense. Outlet here on the right side. Cassidy Grohl now out to the left. Inside the arc, Violet Taylor misses it off the front of the iron and a foul. Over the back call on Haiti Pugmire. And with those fouls every time, the Mustangs are going to have a chance for at least 1-1 at the moment. 5:32 left here in our second quarter before halftime. Abby Schofield on a rope, puts that one up and in. Gets her team's total up to 9. One more point away from double digits for the Mustangs, and it can happen on this free throw. Schofield with killer shoes, I might add. Gives her the extra mantra, the swagger to put that up for 2 for 2. 22-10 is the score. Grohl feeding Darlene Peterson. Kick out to the left side, and now Pugmire leaves it long. Darlene cleans it up, gets her own offensive rebound, and puts it back, and now a foul as she misses the second opportunity. The Rebels passing the ball very cleanly right now, finding the open player, finding the open athlete, and putting it in for good looks. Just not able to get it on the first one. They're trying to earn it from the free throw line, I guess. Darlene knocks it off to the left side, goes flying out to the right. No good on that first attempt. Second time, no good as well, as Slaw comes down with a defensive rebound. Out to Browning on the left side. Right-hand dribble. Gets it out to the right block. Has to put it right back to Browning. Schofield. And now Davis, right side wing extended. Shuffles left, goes baseline, throws it on up, off the back of the iron, and then Darlene Peterson comes up with it. Ambria, long ways down the court. Grohl up and underneath, feeds to Pugmire on the right side block. Pugmire double teamed. And a travel called on Pugmire as she was being hounded by two Mustangs who collapsed in on her inside the paint. Slaw into Browning. Freshman guard back to Slaw on the left side wing, just above off center arc. Now onto the right side, Bear. Davis. No dribbles from the Mustangs. One dribble hop to the right side and a three taken by Schofield. Long again, and Lutz comes away with the rebound, pulls it back out, is in the dead corner right in front of the audience and the crowd on the far side. Now Lamborn on the left side wing into Peterson. Again, leaving it long on that shot, and now a tangle up for the ball. Peterson and Peterson and Callie Bear both all smiles when they go up. They were both going for the ball on a quick timeout. Independent Software Solutions timeout. We'll take it as well. Come back to you in just a moment on a Bear Lake Community Health Center presentation of Rich Rebel Sports on 98.3 The Wildlife.
You rely on your vehicle every day. Make sure your ride gets the best service, repairs, and maintenance possible. Stacy's Repair in Woodruff provides the highest quality, the latest technology, and the newest equipment to give your vehicle the absolute best auto care available. Family owned and operated since 1992, your friends at Stacy's Repair promise to always deliver value and outstanding, honest, and knowledgeable service, regardless of repair size or difficulty. Stacy's Repair, the ones who truly care.
Welcome back to our Stacy's Repair second quarter. 4 minutes here before halftime. Score currently 22-10. Advantage for the Rebels. Slaw on the right side looking in. Flashing a couple different Mustangs. Now getting out to the left side. Browning in to the paint. Ball goes kind of haywire. Ends up in the arms of Grohl, who goes down the left side sideline, excuse me. Now left side baseline, back up to the top for Grohl. Grohl into the paint, floater about 4 feet out, rolls in. Tipped off the front, off the back, and in. 24-10. Browning to Davis, right side wing, dribbles to the baseline, gets it back into the paint. Schofield up into the arms of Pugmire, ends up in the hands of Callie Bear. Off of the partial block, Bear puts it up and good. Points in the paints for the Mustangs there again. 24-12 for the Rebels. Now on offense, sealing off, and then Pugmire trying to seal, and then bumping into a couple Mustangs. It will stay with the Rebels as it's batted out of bounds the baseline underneath their own hoop, and now we get a couple substitutions. Grohl's going to come out, and Pugmire will come out as Smith and McKee will come in. Your starting five out onto the court with about 3 minutes left here in the game. Lamborn, Crawford Trough inbound into Smith. pitching it back to Lamborn. Long pass underneath the baseline, ends up in the arms of Darlene Peterson on the left block. Puts it up on the glass and good. Mustangs now seeing a 2-3 zone by the Rebels. Got to find a way to block and find a way to get into it. Slaw takes up a long 2 off the iron. And then a long stride down the right side near the side of the paint on the right side. The Rebels ending up with the ball after the defensive rebound. Missed layup opportunity now coming back the other way. Browning with the basketball. 2:22 left here before halftime. Into the paint, stolen away. McKee has it poked away by Slaw. Will go out the left side corner on the near side of our court. Stays with the Rebels. Crawford Trough inbound. McKee hops, skipping back in. Lamborn into Smith, who found a lot of bit of real estate, quite a bit of real estate right in front of the free throw line. Puts that one up and good on the jumper. 28-12. 29-12. Browning feeding in. Schofield working up against Peterson. Blocked. And another block. 2 blocks in a row and then a foul. Finally, the Lady Rebels commit on Slaw, who ended up with the ball after 2 blocks in the paint. Good defense by the Rebels. Have been denying quite a bit of entry anywhere inside the paint. That's going to send Slaw to the free throw line. As we went into the bonus about 3 minutes into the first quarter, the Rebels. Now, another block. Darlene Peterson reaches high up and above Kate Bambro, and that's going to be knocked away. Last touched by a Lady Mustang, out of bounds. Smith into Ambria Lutz. 1 minute, 40 seconds left in the ball game. Pokes left, and then Lamborn ends up with it beyond the arc. Driving baseline after the feed and a blocking call on the Mustangs. Again, number 21, Kate Bambro. Now that's going to send the Rebels into the into the bonus. Taylor McKee, very stellar from the line. I do that to jinx her as she missed the first one. Darlene Peterson comes up with the offensive rebound and puts it back and cleans up the mess. 31-12 is your score. Browning down to the right side baseline, up above Darlene Peterson, finds Slaw. What a beautiful move as Slaw got it here on the right baseline. Out jumped Darlene Peterson and put it up on a little bit of a floater. 14-31. McKee left side, cross court to Lamborn, who has some space, goes up into the body of Bambro and puts it up and good. 33-14, less than a minute left here before halftime. Browning here out on the kitty quarter right side. Lutz is to meet her. Bambro now on the left. Slaw near corner, back up to the top. Browning takes the 3, bounces off of the back of the iron, and now McKee pushes it down the floor, finds Ambria Lutz into the body again, high off the backboard, and it falls in place. 35-14, fast break points for the Rebels. Browning, right side into Sadie Davis, gets around Smith. Another floater on the right side baseline, no good. Smith rips down the rebound. Throws it back to McKee now, quickly down the court. Lamborn, cross the court, now out to the left side. Lutz, too far. Ball ends up back into the arms of McKee. Smith, not in time, and it wasn't going to count anyway as she kind of wedged it in between the rim and the backboard. Your halftime score, 35-14 advantage for the Rich High Rebels. We'll come back to you for our halftime show after a quick couple messages from our sponsors on a Bear Lake Community Health Center presentation of Rich Rebel Girls Basketball on 98.3.
If the idea of owning your own home in beautiful Bear Lake sounds like more than your finances can handle, visit the experts at Bear Lake Realty to learn how you can make it happen. Gary and Amber McKee at Bear Lake Realty can show you how to buy a home and rent it out, so it pays for itself while you enjoy it some of the time as well. And soon, you'll have your own place in the Caribbean of the Rockies. No one knows the market better, and no one else serves you better than Bear Lake Realty.
In the state where life is elevated, live your life in a higher gear. Cash Honda Yamaha can help you enjoy our beautiful local terrain, whether it's in the valleys, mountains, snow, or water. So get out and enjoy all nature has to offer at a higher speed. Visit Cash Honda Yamaha in Cache Valley to start living your life at your new speed. Visit us in Hyde Park, just north of Logan, Utah.
Signage is a critical part of your business. It helps customers find your front door. Rocky Mountain Sign will provide you with expertly designed signs, LEDs, channel letters, as well as skillfully cut signage using wood, metal, plastic, and other mediums to help your customers find you with high-quality signage. Using the best technology, designs, and installation by Rocky Mountain Sign. Your signage says a lot about your business. Work with the professionals at Rocky Mountain Sign, 243 7th Street in Evanston, Wyoming.
Rich Rebel fans, welcome back here for our halftime show. We just got done with the first 2 quarters, and we're now seeing a reading on our Station on Main scoreboard, which is 35-14 advantage for the Rich Rebels. We have about 8.5 minutes left before halftime. The Rich Rebels have been scoring in bunches, really finding good positioning in the paint, and that's what's allowed them to put up so many scores right now. Anything beyond the arc hasn't really fallen for the Rebels. Everything has seemed to have come from wiggling inside and finding good positioning, putting it up and off the glass, some easy points there. As for the Manila Mustangs, they're trying to find a way into the Rebel defense to kind of get back into this ball game. They currently trail by about 19 points, and right now, if they're able to put down some shots, find a little bit of confidence, they're going to have a way to get back and crawl into it. We're going to go ahead and dip now into my interview with Hunter Pace. What a kid. What a man. And it was super fun to meet with him. Talks about basketball. I razz him a little bit. It was super duper fun. He's our outstanding student athlete of of this game. Let's hear from Hunter Pace. Rich Rebel fans, here again on the Coach's Show. I'm joined here with Hunter Pace. Finally have cornered him against his will to do an interview with me for 98.3 KADQ. Hunter, everyone's been dying. I've been getting emails on emails, messages on messages to get a hold of you at Rich. First of all, thanks for joining. And, we're right in the middle of basketball. It's hard not to talk about basketball when we're talking to Hunter Pace, right? Talk to me about what you loved about these last 3 games.
I just loved how our team came together, and that's what I love about Rich basketball is if you come to Rich, you got to be in the team, or it's just weird. If you're not hanging out with friends, hanging out with the basketball team, what are you doing? You're just sitting home anyway, so might as well just come hang out and enjoy the time and play some basketball.
What kind of things have contributed to the chemistry of the team outside of the court?
All summer long, Lex had us doing practices. We were just getting chemistry, and most of our team, we loved to hang out with each other. So during football, we'd have film nights, which that helped a lot. And just a lot of us play football, so that helps with chemistry too. So just after school stuff, there's the starters usually go bunny hunting a lot. So that's what we do to build chemistry, I guess. I don't know.
That's a good way to get chemistry going.
Oh yeah, it's fun. We just have a good all the time, just mess around with each other.
All good things, right? All in good fun.
Oh, yeah.
Hunter, I imagine basketball is something that's on your mind quite often. Can you tell me can you pinpoint in the life of Hunter Pace where you're basketball is what I want to do? Is there a moment where you're I want to be like that?
Oh, my mom was a cheer coach when I was little, and still is, but whenever we'd come and cheer for the varsity players, they were just my idols growing up. So I just wanted to be like them and to play basketball and shoot far out and shoot deep threes or drive in for a layup or I just wanted to be like them, and it just grew and grew and grew, and I just wanted to be the best I could, and so yeah, it's just what happens.
Hunter, what kind of practice, what kind of drills throughout your life have instituted to you mastering that 3 ball? I mean, we've seen it out on the court. What have you done when you were little to get that stroke perfect?
Well, when I was little, my dad wouldn't let me shoot outside the paint, and then middle school he'd let me shoot 1 3 a game. And then after that, it just kind of grew, and like building muscle and the weight room helps a lot. Like if you ever want to like shoot threes, hit the weight room, hit the gun, like it just helps. Like I've probably put up 15,000 shots myself on the gun. And then like, laying on the floor and just one-handed just shooting helps a lot.
Hunter, do you have an athlete, or maybe not even an athlete, do you have a person that you idolize, whether it be a family member or like a celebrity that you're like, man, I want to be like that, or, he has some good things to say, or she has some good things to say?
I don't know, there's a few. Like, I like how like Steph like changed the game and like really just like made it known that like, yeah, shooting threes is not like, oh, I'm cocky, and like that's like in the game now. And like I like how he changed that. And then I really like how like Allen Iverson, I just like how he just held himself above everyone, even though he's like 6 foot going against 7-footers. He didn't care. He was gonna go in the lane, get a foul, just make it like, I don't know. I just idolize those two because like, I don't know, they're two different people with like two different views, but like they played the same, and like it's just,
they got swagger on the court, right? They hold themselves high. Hunter, this is really important because I'm going to send this audio to ESPN, lots of different talk shows. Who is the GOAT in basketball in your mind?
Michael Jordan all the way. There's no one's going to beat him. His competitiveness, it's just unmatched. Like,
let's dip outside of basketball for a hot second. I know it's sometimes difficult to do that, but, you talked to me a little bit about Bridgerland. What is it like just having a place that you can go to, relax and kind of do some projects and get that college credit?
It's just something like when I'm 3 modeling, it just gets me out of the basketball. Like sometimes you need to get out of basketball, and that's like kind of my place in school to like go out of basketball, or like, yeah. Because, like, in here, you're always walking past the gym or something like that, and it's just always on your mind, or, like, going to Alexa's class or something like that. But, like, Bridgerland, there's no gym out there. Like, you're on a computer. Like, it just wipes away.
Hunter, really important question that I've come across. Why do you choose to ride the four-wheeler out in Colville instead of riding the horses?
Horses just aren't my thing, man. They just, I'd rather, like, I can control the four-wheeler more. And I'm not like the best with heights, even though it's like only a horse and it's like here, it just freaks me out, and I just don't like it. So the four-wheeler's is the way I go.
Hunter, looking back on both football and basketball, we even have one more year ahead of you, and I'm going to be covering you everywhere you go. So I'll be in your back pocket. What has been, your favorite memory, something that is stuck in your mind that you're going to be able to pull back when you're maybe like 30, and you're like, I had such a good time at Rich doing this? Is there a memory here at Rich High School during the athletic program that you've had? Oh,
there's plenty of bus rides. Those are just the best. Like Hayden Weston, he's the best on the bus rides. Me, him, and Jaden Cornea, and Riley, it's just a fun bus ride. Nathan and like the whole back of the bus is just a party. So it's like those bus rides are just fun. And then like practice, like Coach Cornea, he makes practice fun. Like, I don't regret going to practice any day. Like, there's some practices I'm going to remember more than, like, a lot of them. Like, Oklahoma's our favorite drill. Like, it's just up and down, and it's just fun. You get excited, and, like, you get a little chippy, and it's just fun. But, yeah.
Hunter, last question from me. I appreciate you doing the interview. I know it's been a long time coming. You have any rebuttal for your younger brother after he initially challenged you to get this interview? Anything that you want to say to him before we end our interview today?
Well, looks like I got it done.
You got it done. Ladies and gentlemen of Rich County, he got it done. Hunter Pace, thanks so much for joining me on the interview.
Yep, you're welcome.
In addition to catching up with our Rich Rebel Sports this week, make a stop in Evanston February 5th this Saturday on 127 Bear River Drive for the grand opening for Addicted Power Sports. Our friends at Addicted Power Sports are inviting you. Yes, I'm talking to you for their grand opening event from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. Only with those with a pulse and an eye for free food and great products like Ski-Doo, Can-Am, Kawasaki, Yamaha, and Hammerhead vehicles. I'll be there. You should be too. Rich Rebel Sports signing off here on Rebel on Record. Well, we're not signing off. I'm still here. But come to the Addicted Power Sports grand opening tomorrow. It's going to be a really fun time. We've been talking about it all week. And for those of you that may or may not have heard, I may or may not be getting gifted a Vespa that I can ride shirtless in the summertime in Evanston and Randolph. Again, that's not a for sure thing. My wife says I'm not. Not a for sure thing. Again, we're not going to put it directly in the no category, but it's always a maybe. And you know what? If you're saying there's a chance, then there's a chance. All right, and I like to keep that dream alive. Speaking of keeping things alive, let's see if the Rich Rebels can keep their lead alive. Up 35-14 as we come back here for the start of our Epic Recreation third quarter. We'll take one more quick break and come back to you for the start of our second half on 98.3 The Wildlife.
Pam Cornea with Town & Country Realty in beautiful Bear Lake enthusiastically supports the Rich High Rebels.
After all, I raised 4 of them, from football, basketball, wrestling to volleyball. I supported them all. I bleed blue.
The Caribbean of the Rockies, Bear Lake, offers a variety of activities in every season. Pam would love to assist you in finding your own Bear Lake retreat. Call her today, 435-779-0012.
Here for the start of our third quarter, our Epic Recreation third quarter, that is, as now we get up and ready. Ambria Lutz with the Crawford Trough inbound to Brittany Lamborn. They're now going from right to left on your radio dial. Lamborn is going to kick it out high above McKee, out of bounds for a quick turnover on the Rebels. Mustangs are going to get the ball back, and whoever had their heads up in the stands had to really check the reaction time on that one. Browning is going to get it now, working now from left to right. All whites. Mustangs working on the right side of the court first. Slaw with their back to the basket has to pitch it back to Browning, dribbling left into the paint, hounded by Lamborn. Lamborn not giving up any ground. Browning has to get it back up to the top, tracking it back down to Aurora Draper. Draper now has to work left, picks up her dribble and gets it back to Browning at the top of the arc. Spinning around, Lamborn now has a little bit of space, goes up and underneath a couple Rich Rebel players. Guyman gets the offensive rebound and now pops back out for Lamborn. Lamborn out in front of everyone. He decides to pull it back out, pulls up her dribble and then pitches it to McKee. Lamborn now right side, back to McKee at the very top of the arc. Straightaway three, good from Taylor McKee. Mark it. That's going to be a moment for later on, as we'll go ahead and touch up on our precision play of the game. That's definitely a candidate for sure. 35-14. 38-14 is your score. Slaw trying to answer with the three. That one off to the right, and then Lamborn tracks it down on the near corner. Far down the court, Peterson kicking it out, gets called for the travel before she's able to pass that ball off. Peterson took one too many steps underneath as she found herself kind of in no woman's land underneath the basket and couldn't get up and underneath, so she had to kick it out, then traveled before that. Browning up to Guyman. Guyman left elbow, poked away by Darlene Peterson. Guyman now out to the right side. Slaw feeding down to Schofield. Schofield working up against Peterson. Back out to Slaw. Three, no, a two. Misses it to the left. Didn't touch anything on that one. Luckily, Draper there to track it down before it goes out of bounds. Browning, again, poked away by Brittany Lamborn. Lutz almost gets that one away from Slaw. Now Guyman into the paint and a foul on Taylor McKee, as Guyman had quite a bit of size advantage on McKee. McKee could do nothing more than to put her arms up, and this time it's going to be on the forearms of Guyman. Guyman checking the air pressure in that basketball into her stance. Puts this one up and good. Can't argue with the results. Guyman getting the first one out of two chances at the free throw line. 38-15. Mustangs down. 6:04 left here in our third quarter. This time, that one a little bit too much mustard, and it comes right back. Far rebound. McKee into Peterson, spinning around Guyman. Now finds Smith on the other side of the block. Smith puts it up there with the right hand and good. Now the 40-point mark for the Rebels. Up by 25. Browning out to the left side. Slaw, who gets a screen from Guyman. Good screen, but now a little bit of a trap on Slaw. Has to get it back out to Browning. Spinning around Lamborn, right side now here. One dribble stop for Draper, who's now in trouble. Ball misread, and now McKee ends up with it having been stolen. Crossover and one. Coast to coast for Taylor McKee. She has great ball handling skills, and now she's going to have a chance for a three-point play. Taylor McKee to the Bear Lake Realty free throw line. Misses that one and then tips it back up into the air to herself. Ball goes back, and what could have been an over-the-back call, and then a jump ball, as we had 3 ladies wrestling for that ball, including Browning, McKee, and Slaw. Ball will stay with the Mustangs. Slaw taking over the point guard duties and ball handling, as Lamborn will meet her right about the 10-foot line. Now right side, Sadie Davis. Again, poked away deflection, leaving alone Schofield, and a foul. Darlene Peterson. Quick timeout coming up here. An Independent Software Solutions timeout taken by Coach Lundgren. We'll keep it here. Actually, we'll go ahead and take it. We'll come back to you in 30 seconds here on a Bear Lake Community Health Center presentation of Rich Rebel Sports 98.3 The Wildlife. Randolph, Utah is a town of extremes. At an elevation of 6,300 feet, with temperatures over 90 in the summer and often 40 below in the winter, the folks who call Randolph home have to be a hardy crew. Maybe that is one reason why the simple things in life mean so much to Rich County. Residents value hard work, education, a value for God, family, and country, and being a good neighbor. Mayor Sim Bell and the town board, Melanie Lim, Clay Barker, Brandon Hatch, and Frank Sano, support the Rich Rebels and hope that you can come back often.
Wyoming is unique. When it comes to high school sports, we might travel 6 hours to a game, but when we get there, we know the other team, their parents, and the coaches. Wyoming is like one small town with really long streets. When your travels take you to Evanston, always stay with your friends at the Best Western Dunmar Inn. Clean, comfortable rooms, a restaurant serving healthy, delicious food, and breakfast is always included. If you're bringing the team or following the team, stay with us every time you're in Evanston. The Best Western Dunmar Inn.
Back into our Epic Recreation third quarter. 5:05 left here. And the first shot from Schofield rims out from the left to the right, no good. Second one coming up here. Bear Lake Realty free throw. Schofield, toes on the line. Throws that one up and rolls it in. Had help from both the rim and the backboard, putting Manila's point total up to 16. Lutz jogging across the timeline, works it to the right for McKee, high above her head, now gets it out to Lamborn. Smith open for 3 on the left side. That one's up and good. Smith nails that three-pointer. We're having a interesting, so the basket is good by Mackenzie Smith, and then a foul by the Mustangs. Now Smith gets it in on the Crawford Trough inbound, puts it back up, and that's a 7-point swing. No, a 5-point swing, excuse me, very quickly for the Rebels, up 47-16. 4:44 left here in our third quarter. Driving right, Sadie Davis with the awesome face mask, I might add. Trying to fit it into Guyman on the right side block. It will go out of bounds. Last touched on the fingertips of Guyman. Set to check in, Callie Bear. In for Guyman. Ambria Lutz getting the inbounds, going across the timeline. Really smooth line. Jabs right, goes left. Left-hand dribble, pitch back to Lamborn. Now out to the right side. Taylor McKee for 3. That one off the back iron, no good. Smith ends up with it, and she's going to put it up. And Darlene with the offensive rebound after the miss by Smith. Ball up again. Darlene Peterson, another offensive rebound. Finally, the Mustangs come away with it with Draper. Slaw now in the middle of the court, works it left. Davis gets a screen on the left from Schofield. Schofield gets the ball after the feed from Davis up above Darlene Peterson. Schofield caught Darlene on the way up on that. The ball stolen away there. Almost with a chance for 4 points. Instead, a miss now, an 18-point total for the Mustangs. Taylor McKee at the top of the arc, dribbles into the paint. Got robbed as that ball was practically 3/4 of the way in the basket on that drive layup, and then it popped out. Slaw almost hopped with it, did not, kept her pivot foot, and now Sadie Davis driving right side to the right side baseline, stops, double teamed, gets it out here. Three-pointer from the Mustangs on the right side wing, no good from Draper. Lamborn tracks it down in front of the crowd on the right side. Darlene feeding to Smith across the paint. Another assist from Darlene to Mackenzie Smith. Something that has become quite the trend and something that's been very impressive to see. Rebels kind of rolling away and running away with it right now. We get a couple of substitutions ready to come into the game. Another big block. Darlene says no, no, no to Sadie Davis. Ball will go out the back line underneath the Rebel basket. Last touch by the Rich Rebels. Tingy, Argyle, and Violet Taylor have come in for Lamborn, McKee, and Smith. Slaw underneath the Rebel basket. Looking, has nobody open. Finally fits it in there to Schofield. Schofield with her back to the basket on the left side baseline gets it out there to Draper. Draper throws up a prayer, and that one's a little bit too far. Lutz now with an outlet, loses the handles on the basketball, ends up in the arms of Violet Taylor. Tingy now on the right side to Argyle, high above her head, feeds inside to Darlene. Three Mustangs dribble in on her, collapse, and now Violet Taylor has to kind of just throw it backwards to Tingy. Now again to Ellie Argyle, crossover into the paint. Wow, spitting that one within millimeters. That had no room to go either to the left or the right as she went up on the right side baseline, putting it up and squeezing it in there. Now 51-18. Slaw trying to find Draper, cannot as it's denied on the right side. Gets it back up to the top here for Bear. Back to Slaw. Davis, the top of the arc. Lutz sitting in the chair in front of her. And now Violet Taylor stealing away the basketball here from Bear. She's going away. Nobody in front of her. Goes up with the left hand. Silky smooth. 53-18 now. Davis and Slaw working it up from their back court. Davis right side, trying to get around Ambria Lutz. Has to get it into the near corner for Bear. And then a floater back to Davis. That was almost like a Kareem Abdul-Jabbar type of positioning and form as she threw it up there. Now Violet Taylor throws it into the paint. It's deflected and then it ends up in the arms of Tingy. Missing that shot. Ellie Argyle tracks it down on the right side block and puts it back 55-20 for the Rebels. Winding down to the end of our third quarter, brought to you by Epic Recreation. About 50 seconds left. Rebels up big, and the Mustangs trying to find any way to come back into it in a three-point violation in the paint. Too many Mustangs caught up in the ruckus and the rubble, and there was about 3 of them that had been caught up in there. They stayed there for a while, and finally our officials have to call it. Argyle into Violet Taylor. Taylor will take over point guard duties, gets it out to the right side for Tingy. Tingy, high dribble, now looking for Grohl, and that's picked off by Slaw. And then Tingy, in probably frustration, trying to reach back in to get the ball back, will foul. Ball will be taken out underneath the Mustang basket. Back into the Mustangs. Slaw, right hand dribble. Again, calling out the offense. A lot of backside screens, a lot of movement here for the Mustangs now on the right side. Slaw dribbles up and around on the left elbow, throws that one up as she was in a bad position. It will bounce off of a Mustang and go out of bounds. Cassidy Grohl to come up to help Ellie Argyle. Grohl working it back in. Argyle now on the right side. Darlene Peterson was denied, and now here come the Mustangs, stealing that ball away. Slaw splitting in between 2 Rebels and throws that one up at the buzzer. No good, too far to the left. And that is after the end of 3 55-20, the Rebels rolling away with it. One more quarter to go on a Bear Lake Community Health Center presentation of Rich Rebel Sports. MyLocalRadio.com.
Whether you're kicking up dust in the hills, making waves down on the lake, or taking advantage of the world's greatest powder, don't just hope to have fun. Take that sled by the handlebars and make your time at Bear Lake epic. Epic Recreation rents equipment and cabins for your vacation fun at beautiful Bear Lake. From watercraft large and small to UTVs, sleds, and more, Epic Recreation has it all to go on-road, off-road, or out on the Caribbean blue water. Book your adventure at epicrecreation.net.
Welcome back to the booth. Start of our fourth quarter brought to you by Bear Lake Memorial Hospital. Currently the Rebels are up 55-20. And now we're going to see quite a few younger faces into the game. We got Pugmire, we've got Argyle, Tingy, Taylor, and our senior, Cassidy Grohl. Finding space, Violet Taylor will jab left, finds herself alone on the left elbow, throws up that jumper, and it's nothing but net. 57-20 for the Rebels. Mustangs now finding in a good pick and roll there on the left side, and Schofield sets the screen and gets the feed there, throws that one up, and had a good look at it, puts it up in an easy layup. Here come the Mustangs in transition after a little bit of a defensive stand. Ball gets tipped out of bounds. Last touch by Tylee Tingy underneath the basket. 7:15 left, 57-22, and a substitution. Browning is going to come into the game. Slaw holding the ball high above her head, has to kick it out very to the top. Browning guarded by Tingy. Now out to the right side, back to Browning at the top. Browning getting a screen by Bear. Into Bear, it will go off of her left hand into the paint, stolen away by Grohl. Tripped up, Grohl kind of has her feet tangled up there with a Mustang. The ball will go out of bounds, but not before the foul. Cameron Slaw, the good sport that she is, comes up and says, hey, sorry. Slaps hands with Cassidy Grohl, says no hard feelings whatsoever. Left side, Tingy, back to Violet Taylor on the right side now. Ellie Argyle right on the free throw line, high above her head, dribbles left, off the glass, no good. Slaw comes away with it. Slaw working down the left sideline, spinning around up at the very top. Violet Taylor makes her pass it up to the right side. Browning with a screen from Bear. Pugmire with a brick wall, not letting Browning get anywhere into the paint. Slaw picks up her dribble, now gets it out to Davis, left side. Davis, another pick and roll, did not find Schofield. Schofield finally gets it on the left block. Kick out, inside out for Browning. Browning takes the straightaway three. Front of the iron, no good. Out of bounds, and it will stay with the Mustangs as that ball got tipped off of a Rebel and then went flying into the stands on the opposite side of the court. Sadie Davis to put in the inbound play here. She's located right on the opposite sideline, right about the 10-foot line. Gets it into Slaw, who just holds it extended from beyond the arc. Couple dribbles out to the right side. Browning, another screen inside and picked off by Violet Taylor, stepping right in front of Kate Bambro. Pugmire with that feed found herself alone on the left side block. Spun around, put it on up, and good. 59-22 for the Rebels. Slaw. Extended kitty corner beyond the arc on the left side. Now gets it right side, Bambro. Now left side, Davis. Davis holding the ball high above her head. High above the head inside. Browning using as much height as she can to put that shot up. Pugmire comes up with the defensive rebound and just kind of pitches it back to Violet Taylor. Now Tingy left side. Dribble stop, kick out, Taylor. Right side corner. Grohl back up to the top. It's going to work its way around the horn a couple times. Has to reach up above. Violet Taylor driving, losing the handles on it. It will go into the padding. Last touched by Violet. 5 minutes left here on our Bear Lake Memorial Hospital, fourth quarter before the conclusion of this game. The Rebels up big here, and this is just more or less pretty close to calling the game right now, as it's a very large lead held by the Rebels. Browning with a feed handoff there from Guyman. Pugmire comes down with the rebound after the missed layup. Grohl in transition. Tingy to the right side. Araya Osler in the game. Grohl drives, couple dribbles, has to get it back up to the top of the arc. Right side wing. Pugmire into Ellie Argyle, who's going to throw up a jumper. No good. It will find the ball. The ball will end up back into the arms of the Rebels. Araya Osler now working away counterclockwise around the arc. Gets it to Grohl, who feeds inside. Poked away, another deflection. Ellie Argyle still with it. Right hand baby hook, no good. Pugmire ripping it away underneath in the paint. Jump ball will be called, and the possession arrow will stay with the Mustangs. So 4 minutes on the dot left here in our Bear Lake Memorial Hospital fourth quarter. 3 taken by Slaw on the left side. Sadie Davis coming up with the offensive rebound, goes right back into the teeth of the defense, gets the and one. As she threw it up with the right hand, just a little bit of a baby hook up and over her head, kind of a push shot, and that one's good. 24 points now for the Mustangs, with a chance for one more via a made free throw by Sadie Davis. Davis tries to use the glass and the bank, no good. Pugmire falling away as she got legs tangled up with Guyman. Rebels dribble stop from Grohl out to Pugmire. Pugmire dribble drive out, now up to the very top. Grohl takes a 3, no good. And that one rolled off to the left and then out. Araya Osler coming up here, rolling. And, the girls kind of smiling with each other as they're just kind of fighting for the basketball. Araya Osler, Kate Bambro. Pugmire with Crawford Trough inbound into Tingy on the left side baseline. Pugmire with the shot working up against Guyman. That's been a battle for those two all game. And Pugmire's going to get fouled after taking the jumper on the left side baseline. Pugmire with 2 shots here with 3.5 minutes left here in our fourth quarter. Lefty, no good. Bounces off the front and then shoots off to the right off the rim. One more shot coming up here for Haiti Pugmire. Again off to the right. And I don't think it touched the rim, so it will go to the Mustangs as it just touched the bottom of the backboard. Browning. Slaw to Browning, and now Browning across the timeline. Dribble hop now out to Bambro. Bambro driving up against Pugmire and a foul. Pugmire on the forearms of Bambro, and that will send Kate Bambro to the line, the sophomore forward. Bambro's shot, no good, off the glass, comes right back to her. Second shot, redemption for Bambro. That one just grazes the back iron and goes in. 25-59 for the Rebels. Osler into the elbow and then out to Grohl at the top of the arc. Tingy going counterclockwise back to Osler on the right side wing. Janie Walentine in the game, cross court over here to the top. Tingy. Good passing between the Rich Rebels as it's gone back and forth, kind of working that right side quadrant and out to anything from the right wing and back will go. Janie Walentine now to Tingy. Back to Walentine right side. Araya Osler. Araya Osler traveled before she was able to make the pass. There was some good passing going on by the Rich Rebels, but Osler, yeah, that was Osler. Hannah Scott also in the game. Traveled, and now it will be a turnover. Browning is going to end up with it. They're in their half-court offense. Up to the top, Slaw. Good setup, and Slaw just not able to put it into the bucket for 3. And now pushing it up the court, Callie Bear will foul Cassidy Grohl. That will have the Rebels taking it in. Casey Wilson checking into the game with the 2:14 left to play. Janie Wallentyne left side baseline inside for Hannah Scott. That one's good. Good feed from Wallentyne to Scott. 61 points now for the Rebels. Kick from Casey Wilson, good defense there. As we're going to get a mass substitution from the Mustangs. Guyman, Davis, and a couple of our JV players from the Manila Mustangs will come back into the game. As they'll kind of finish out this one. There's about 2 minutes left. The Rebels are up 61-25. This game is all wrapped up and ready to go. We'll get ready for the boys' game in just a moment after the conclusion of this girls' game. Manila up at the top of the arc, Slaw working up against Casey Wilson. Another kick by Wilson. And, I mean, that's defense. And they're going to have it go out of bounds because it is a kickball. Wilson meets Slaw right in the Kinney quarter, the top of the arc. Left side into the paint, right elbow feed, Davis, and a foul on Janie Wallentyne. Wallentyne with the foul. That's going to go ahead and no, not yet. Not yet into the bonus. Mustangs will take it out underneath the Rebel basket. Right side of the basket. Slaw gets it in bounds. Gets it back to Slaw. Dribbles it off of her foot and goes out of bounds on the near corner. Right off of her foot, it will roll out of bounds. Sage Lundgren into the game as well. Casey Wilson, Hannah Scott, Janie Wallentyne, and Araya Osler. Wilson up to the top, a 3 taken by Lundgren. Off to the left, no good. It will go throwing bodies into the padding underneath. It was just an air ball, so they weren't able to kind of track that one down. 1:30 left here in the ball game. No foul, says Coach Cody Lundgren. Let's make this one nice and clean for the last 90 seconds. And a foul. A foul on Casey Wilson. That's going to be now to the bonus. Oh, excuse me. Araya Osler will be called for the foul. Bonus as Sadie Davis will stroll to the line. That one, with the help of the backboard, it doesn't happen very often. If those of you watching, the ball kind of got wedged perfectly between the rim and the backboard, and it stopped its momentum and then it just rolled back in. Second shot, no good. Throws itself out to the left. Lundgren goes across the timeline and goes out to Janie Wallentyne on the left. And a little 3-man weave at the very top will just kind of kill quite a bit of time here. Wilson, Lundgren. Back to Wilson on the left side. Wallentyne dribbling with the left hand back to Wilson on the right as they're just kind of doing a little weave pattern here to get the final seconds out. Turnover, here comes the Mustangs into the lane. Floater from Slaw, no good. Guyman comes up with the offensive rebound, and now Janie Wallentyne with a good box out. Comes away with the defensive rebound. Now 35 seconds left here in the ball game. Lundgren, Wallentyne, Osler into Scott, back out to Wallentyne. Sage Lundgren misses the 3. Janie Wallentyne with the offensive rebound, putting it up with the left hand. 63-26. Final seconds tipping off here. Slaw tried to step into a shot. It will go out of bounds. Air ball, and now the Rebels will come away. No, last touch by the Rebels, they say. So Mustangs will have it with about 7 seconds left here in the ball game. Let's see if the Mustangs can come away with some points here at the very end. High up above, Sadie Davis, left elbow, throwing it up. No, back iron, long rebound, again into the arms of the Mustangs. A miss out to the left, no shot. That is your final score, 63-26. The Rebels come away with it for the girls program. We'll come back to you with some highlights, our Jimmy John's Freaky Fast recap, precision play of the game, and get ready for the boys game coming up here in just a moment on 98.3 The Wildlife.
Sometimes you just start craving a really good, juicy burger. Add cheese, maybe some bacon, and all the fixins that make every bite even better than the bite before it. Add a side of hand-cut fries, onion rings, or crisp tater tots, and top it off with an amazing ice cream cone. Or maybe a raspberry shake. Just thinking about it makes me hungry. When your stomach is grumbling like an angry bear and your cravings call out, head right down to the Crawford Trough in Randolph. The place to eat and drink. Stop in today.
Wyoming is unique. When it comes to high school sports, we might travel 6 hours to a game, but when we get there, we know the other team, their parents, and the coaches. Wyoming is like one small town with really long streets. When your travels take you to Evanston, always stay with your friends at the Best Western Dunmar Inn. Clean, comfortable rooms, a restaurant serving healthy, delicious food, and breakfast is always included. If you're bringing the team or following the team, stay with us every time you're in Evanston. The Best Western Dunmar Inn.
Nothing makes your kid feel like a superstar more than seeing his or her very own Fathead in the stands. Fathead car decals and yard signs are inexpensive and easy to get at Rocky Mountain Sign in Evanston. Whether it's for the big game or to cheer on the high school band, our children make us proud in so many ways. Show your pride today. Go Rebels! West Star Printing and Rocky Mountain Sign, 243 7th Street, Evanston.
Welcome back for our post-game coverage, a very, very quick abbreviated post-game show. Special thanks to Jimmy John's out of Evanston. That's gourmet sandwiches made fresh and fast every day. Special thanks to Dr. McKay Frankham, providing precision family dentistry at affordable prices, as well as the town of Garden City and LSR Refrigerated for recognizing our player of the game. Our player of the game will go to Ellie Argyle, the glue, put in some really good points and put the Rebels up in the lead very quickly in the first half. And then the play of the game will go to Taylor McKee, a huge three-point shot just back from halftime, and that kept the momentum going, and that will be the end of the game. The girls coming away with a huge victory, 63-26. And now we're going to be 8 minutes away before the boys start, so we'll go quickly into our Gary Tusher CPA pregame show with the boys. Thank you for joining us here. We'll switch on over in just a moment. Welcome back, Rich Rebel fans. We're going to get into our Gary Tusher CPA pregame show. First off, we'll step into our scene set brought to you by mylocalradio.com. And the Manila Mustangs, what is there to say about the Manila Mustangs? They've been on an absolute tear, 14-3, and only just continuing to go more and more. Let's go ahead and dip into our pregame coaches show really quickly. I want to get to our interview with head boys basketball coach of the Manila Mustangs, just touching up as to how this team is going and what it's been like for the Mustangs so far this season and keeping this streak alive. Special thanks to Gary Tusher CPA. That's Gary Tusher CPA pregame show. Make sure you keep as much money as possible. When it comes to taxes this year, schedule an appointment with Gary Tusher CPA in Montpelier today. Pre-game to Coach's Show brought to you by T7 Propane in Woodruff. For all your propane needs, call T7 Propane today. Let's hear from head coach of the Manila boys basketball program. Rich Rebel fans and fans of Manila High School, I am joined here on the Coach's Corner with head coach Mike Hughes. Coach Hughes is the head boys basketball coach. Coach, you're coming into your 6th year as a head boys basketball coach. We knew that the Manila Mustangs were young coming into this year, but did you foresee the success in the regular season that you're having now before the season started?
We knew we had a pretty talented group of boys. I know we're pretty heavy on underclassmen, but based on what we had coming back and the experience they had last year as sophomores, a lot of them, we were hoping to be competitive and be in the mix. And I think so far we've been in that mix more than we haven't, which is a good sign. But we've definitely had our growing pains too throughout this first 14, 15 games of the season.
Coach, you can't really talk about Mustang boys basketball without kind of touching up on your junior duo. That's Tuck Davis, that's Kyler Hughes. Coach, what do these boys bring to the team that makes them so electric, and how have they improved from the year before?
Well, both of them have a lot of energy in their game, bring a lot of effort every night. They're probably two of our better defenders. So they do a lot of things that's hard to teach, to be honest. Kyler Hughes is probably the fastest kid we've had with the ball in the program in a long time, and then Tuck Davis has a real knack for scoring the ball underneath the bucket in a lot of variety of ways. We were hoping coming to the season that they would have some success this year, but I think they've both probably exceeded expectations.
Coach, Tuck Davis and Kyler Hughes, from my research, quite a bit of substantial time last year as sophomores. Is there anybody else on the team that's coming in with a little bit of experience, even though you guys are very young?
Yeah, Ashton Slaw was our 6th man last year, so he got a lot of varsity minutes. So the stage isn't new for him. But other than that, we're pretty green as far as varsity experience. Zane Thomas, Gavin Gonder, Hayden Gailey, and then the freshman Wyatt Muir. Really, this is their first year getting any varsity experience, and I think they've grown into those roles pretty solidly.
Coach, what has been the coaching philosophy and what has been the staple of Mustang basketball? Do you feel like your boys have fully bought in this year?
I don't know that we have a philosophy at all. Every night try to hold people and try to score some. No, I as a whole, this group's done a really good job buying in defensively. So I think that's an area where we've gotten better, definitely gotten better from the beginning of the season to now.
How does a coach keep a team level? How does a coach keep a team composed, especially being in the Mustangs position right now for the final push before the playoffs start?
Well, I think with any team you're coaching, the more success you're having in terms of wins or losses, probably the more critical you can be of what's going on the floor, just because naturally kids are gonna be in a better place in terms of their confidence, so they're gonna be a little more receptive to some criticism. Opposed to if you are struggling to win some games, sometimes you got to be over the top positive to keep the message going. So I think we're in a position right now where we've had some success in terms of getting some wins, that we can go back on film and be very, very critical on maybe some bad timing in offensive actions, or highly critical of just people being out of position defensively. Whereas if we weren't winning games, I think it would be harder to nitpick those small things that much.
Coach, you've already seen the Rich Rebels once this year already. They are currently on a 3-game winning streak. As a broadcaster for the Rich Rebels, it's very evident to see that they have a little bit of swagger that maybe they wouldn't have had earlier in the year when you faced them. What really impresses you about this Rich Rebel team, and do you expect them to be different coming up in this matchup on Friday?
Well, Rich is really well coached. Lex Cornea does an amazing job, and I know he spends a lot of time scouting. I know he puts a lot of thought into what they're going to do game plan wise. So they're going to have a scheme that's definitely designed to try to give us fits. They're definitely not just going to come into the game and do what they do. I fully anticipate that they've prepared all week for something that will give us trouble, and that's a credit to them. So I anticipate that between that young talent that they have and the Carrillo kid in the middle, the senior, that defensively they're going to put up a good game, and offensively they'll find ways to score, be it through their system or through the improvement of Carrillo, Pace, and all the sophomore guards that they tend to play.
Is there one particular area where you see the Rich Rebels impressed you the last time that you saw? Maybe a strength. They're also a very young team as well.
Right. Their defense within the lane is really good. They're a team that's hard to score in the paint on. They have some size, has some length, and then the way they rotate defensively, be it in their zone or even when they go man, They do a really good job of protecting the paint, which can give us fits without a doubt because we're not the best shooting team in the conference by any means. So we tend to have to score a lot of points in the paint, and Rich does a really good job of taking that away.
Well, Coach, it was great to catch up with you. This again, Mike Hughes, head boys basketball coach. We wish you the best of luck, and should be a really good game Friday.
Hey, thanks, Cody. Appreciate it.
That was head coach Michael Hughes, and it was really fun to catch up with Coach Hughes as he was very, very relaxed. He was very, very confident. And, it just kind of goes to show what this boys basketball team for the Mustangs is all about. They want to win. They're very disciplined, and they just have so much talent, and even talent that's going to be carrying over into next year. A lot of their stars are juniors. Junior duo Kyler Hughes and Tuck Davis. Not only are they the lifeblood of the Manila team, but they have another year to perfect their play. Both juniors, the two guards, know how to board and score in an incredible fashion, both in the points, in the paint, and beyond. 32 points per game, 9 blocks per game. That's kind of hard to replace, and we're going to dip immediately right into our game as we're 35 seconds away. We'll take a quick break, come back to you in just a moment on 98.3 The Wildlife. Success is no accident. It comes from constant hard work, perseverance, sacrifice, and learning from failure. Laketown Mayor Burdette Weston and council members Dallas Clark, Gary Ogilvie, Eldon Robinson, and Delora Wright encourage the Rich High Rebels to continue to do whatever it takes to succeed in academics, activities, and athletics. The town council and citizens of Laketown celebrate the success of all the students and staff in the Rich School District.
Atlas Home Care and Hospice provides skilled nursing and physical therapy services in your home in Rich County. In-home service providers include Natalie Cornea, Kylie Argyle, Brady Stokes, and Bradley Holmes. Call Atlas Home Care and Hospice today.
At the Evanston Walmart, you'll find all the tools students need to succeed. Our team is committed to providing quality products and an excellent shopping experience. Stop in today. 125 North 2nd Street, Evanston. Walmart. Save money, live better.
Welcome back, Rich Rebel fans, to our pregame show. This is our Gary Tusher CPA pregame show. Tax laws are always changing. Make sure you keep as much of your money as possible. Have the professionals at Gary Tusher CPA handle your tax preparation this year. Call Gary Tusher CPA in Montpelier today. We're going to go ahead and dip already into our starting lineup. Good gravy. Really quick, as it is. We're going to go start with the Rich Rebels in their starting lineup today. Riley Carrillo getting the start today, the senior. He's going to be a huge key to this game today, whether or not the Rebels can get some movement inside. Hunter Pace also getting it as well today. Jaden Cornea. Carter Hoffman also getting the start as well today. And then Hayden Weston. Here we go, back into the Manila side. Ashton Slaw, the sixth man from last year. Number 23. Kyler Hughes as well. Tuck Davis. Number 32, Zane Thomas as well. I apologize, I wasn't able to understand all of the starting lineup today as we're getting a roster back in really quickly here. Our opening tip-off coming up soon as we are going to dip into our starting tip-off. Here we go, as we'll come into it, and the Rebels are going to start it off with the basketball. Rich Rebels with the basketball up at the top. Hayden Weston coming out here to the right side. Carter Hoffman. Hoffman dribbling out to the left. Hunter Pace up at the very top of the arc, getting a screen from Riley Carrillo. Carrillo spinning to the basket, now back up at the top for Hoffman. Hoffman on the left elbow, back out to the top. Hayden Weston. Weston Driving in now, Cornea is getting caught up in traffic. Hunter Pace, right side dribble, up and off the glass, no good. Riley Carrillo tips it back up to Hayden Weston. Weston back up, it's going to be partially blocked, and here come the Mustangs. Here come the Mustangs, back in transition, up at the very top here. Mustangs working it around the top now. Zane Thomas out to the right side. Ashton. Left side three. Good for the Mustangs. That's going to be the first points of the game. There's three-pointer here. In we come again. Hunter Pace spinning in, trying to find Hayden Weston, and now Carrillo gets bumped a little bit, leaves it a little bit long on that dribble drive, and a tip. Now the Mustangs underneath the basket, kick out to the left. Zane Thomas, last touching it, will go out of bounds. Excuse me. I need the roster from Tiny. Here we go. Rebels back with it after a turnover from the Mustangs. Right side, Carter Hoffman. Hoffman up to the top for Carrillo. Carrillo in to Pace, who's going to get caught up in some traffic. A jump ball. Got to say that's a little bit surprising, as that jump ball, not something that we saw. I felt as though that Hunter Pace had possession and just got kind of tied up into it. Back into their offense, a long three, no good, and an offensive rebound. Put back from Manila, 5 points now for the Manila Mustangs. Cornea getting guarded there by Kyler Hughes, going the other way. Mustangs causing a lot of disruption early here in our first quarter, and it's keeping the Rebels off guard. 5 now to 0. Another three-pointer good from the right side, Ashton Slaw. Jaden Cornea taking it across, and a quick timeout taken by head coach Lex Cornea. We're going to take a timeout as well. Take a quick breather, come back to you in just a second here in our first quarter on a Bear Lake Community Health Center presentation of Rich Rebel Sports 98.3 The Wildlife.
This is Gary McKee. Inviting you to call Bear Lake Realty today, 435-946-8888. Find out how you can be part of this beautiful area here with sandy beaches and private access, or the quickest way to get access to the marina in the Bear Lake area. You can have your own second home or a quarter share into those second homes for starting at $250,000, or you can start your own Airbnb investment and use it as well. Just call us and we'll teach you how to do that at Bear Lake Realty at 435-946-8888.
Welcome back to the beginning of our first quarter with what has been breakneck speed. And we're going to go ahead, dip into our Bear Lake Realty fan cam. Your new home in Bear Lake, one phone call away. Call 435-946-8888 to get into any type of realty in the Bear Lake area. So, 8 quick points starting off the game, 8-0, and a quick timeout by the Rebels is how this game will start. 5:26 left here in our first quarter. And Ashton Slaw, Kyler Hughes, Tuck Davis, Zane Thomas, Hayden Gailey. That is your starting 5, and that is who has been wreaking havoc right now on the Rebels. The Rebels haven't been able to put it into the basket quite yet. Cornea getting the inbound. Mount Valley Cattle Company inbound from Riley Carrillo. Cornea there at the top, out to the left side. Hayden Weston, left side wing. Now over to Pace, gets a screen from Weston. Little jumper inside the arc, no good. Long rebound, Cornea almost came away with it. Instead, Ashton Slaw. And a foul, as too many hands were reaching in to stop Slaw from going into a fast break type of transition, and the ball will be taken out of bounds right in front of the media bench right here in front of us. Ashton Slaw, left side, back up to the top right side now. Hayden Gailey, back to Slaw, who's going to take the three from the left wing. High off the glass, no good. Hayden Weston and company trying to get it. Offensive rebound by the help of Zane Thomas. Kyler Hughes, number 1. Another 3 on the right side from Slaw. This time off the front of the rim, no good. Riley Carrillo, high off the hop, will get it and rip it to Jaden Cornea. Cornea, weaving in and out of people, gets it up to the top for Hayden Weston. Now feeding to Carrillo, back to Hunter Pace. Guarded by Slaw, gets a screen from Carrillo. Can't shake off Slaw as he has to pitch back to Cornea. Oh, dear. An offensive foul called on Jaden Cornea, and the Rich coaching staff does not like it. And it's going to be a stoppage of play. And we're going to get a warning call, I believe, on the Rich Rebel bench. On the coach, I believe Coach Lex Cornea is just going to get a little warning here. 4:18 left here in our first quarter, still 8-0. A quick jump out in the lead for the Manila Mustangs. And another foul. Couple fouls on the Rich Rebels. 3 given up so far, and the first one by Hayden Weston. Man, this literally has been the fastest game of basketball I have seen in a little while. Kyler Hughes into Ashton Slaw. Slaw is going to take it back out, pumps left, goes across the court out here to Hayden Gailey. Back up to the top. Kyler Hughes. Hughes working up against Pace, now left side. Gailey up to the top of the arc. Another 3 taken by the Mustangs on the right side, up and good. 11-0 for the Manila Mustangs here in Manila. Handoff to Kaufman, now right side wing, gets it out to the left side here for Hayden Weston. Carrillo, right side handoff to Cornea. Hayden Weston here. Right side elbow up above for Hoffman. Hoffman gets caught up underneath the basket. Right side baseline, has to get bailed out. Hunter Pace into the lane, up and good. Finally, some points for the Rich Rebels. Hey, find out who 13 is. Hughes. Now Slaw on the right side, a foul. Another foul on Hayden Weston. 2 quick fouls on Hayden Weston, and that's going to be 4 fouls given by the Rich Rebels with 3 minutes left here in the first quarter. Substitution coming in, Noah Perry in for Weston. A little coaching moment here as Hayden Weston has tried not to reach out with the elbow. Stolen away, Hunter Pace at the very top of the arc. Now working the other way from left to right quickly. The Rebels in all blue and black. On top of the back, number 13 for the Manila Mustangs. Mountain Valley Cattle Company inbound. Cornea into Carrillo. Underneath the basket, has to throw it up high. Noah Perry goes up for the offensive rebound. 3 taken by Pace. Bottom of the net, wet. Finally, some life being exhibited by Hunter Pace. Gavin Gonder, number 13 with that foul, led to some points for the Rich Rebels. Gailey out to the right for Slaw for 3. Slaw knocking it home. Another 3 for the Manila Mustangs, 14-5. Cornea working up against here Hughes. Pace on Slaw on the left side. Inside, Hoffman not able to bring it in. It was a good pass, and now a jump ball at the very top of the arc. That ball bounces off of the chest of Hoffman, goes rolling into the paint back to the left. A couple Mustangs will come in and check in. Zane Thomas and Wyatt Muir. Carter Hoffman will come out. Trey Walker has come in to the game. Mountain Valley Cattle Company inbound. Carrillo up to the top for Walker. Back to the right side, intercepted here by Hughes. Hughes pushing it down the floor very quickly, up into the arms immediately into the body of Hunter Pace. 16 points for Manila to 5. Cornea against Hughes. And another steal. High up. Hughes loses the handles and falls down what would have been surefire points after the steal by Slaw on the right side wing, going the other way. Screen from Riley Carrillo at the very top of the arc frees up Cornea. Cornea drives into the lane, and a foul called. Cornea into the body of Zane Thomas. He's going to have to earn it from the free throw line. Hunter Pace, last points from beyond the arc for 3. That's what has our score at 16-5. Now Bear Lake Realty free throws for Jaden Cornea. Cornea pushed it. Long rebound on that one. No good on the free throw attempt. 5 points only for the Rich Rebels. 1:37 left here in our first quarter. Cornea, second attempt. That one, redemption, up and good. Now 10-point deficit. Manila up 16-6. Hughes to Slaw on the left side, who's going to work right into the middle. Goes to the right, counterclockwise, guarded by Cornea. Dribbles back around, has to look inside. Hughes on the right side wing now. Slowing it back up. Trey Walker to be guarding him. Dribble handoff, Zane Thomas, who's going to go out to the right side wing. Back up to the top. Now to the left side, Hughes, Slaw, Muir. Travel call as the Manila Mustangs were working in such quick breakneck pace that Muir picked up his pivot foot and kind of shuffled a little bit on the right side wing. Jaden Cornea, 1 minute left here in our first quarter. Guarded by Hughes. Now out to the left side. Pace taking the 3 ball. No good. Cornea ends up with it. Last touch by Cornea. It will go careening out of bounds. Underneath the basket of the Manila Mustangs. They're babying a 10-point lead now late in our first quarter. Kyler Hughes. Out to the left. Slaw gets a screen there from Tuck Davis. Hughes on the right side, dribbles left, back out to Muir on the right side, far corner, inside, Zane Thomas. 3, thought about, now cross-court pass for Slaw, back up to the very top. Now slowing it down, here comes Coach Hughes calling in a play into their offensive set. Tuck Davis almost loses it, now to the right side, dribbling in, drive by Hughes, dances on the rim, no good. Defensive rebound by Carrillo. Pace, right side, dribbles in, dribbles off of his foot, and now bodies in the middle, right on top of the left elbow, and a quick jump ball between the two teams. Nate Woods set to check into the game in just a moment. Now he goes back to the bench. Coach Cornea thinks otherwise. Changes his decision. The ball will go to the Mustangs underneath their own basket. Hughes works his way back to the ball, grabs it, and works his way up the left sideline. Up to the top, bounces it off the foot of Carrillo, and it will go out of bounds. 2 seconds left here at the end, before the end of our first quarter. Inbound, Hugh Davis stripped and no shot. So 16-6 after the end of 1, and what was quite frankly the fastest basketball I have seen in my short broadcasting career. Both teams speeding up and down the court. We'll come back to you in 30 after a message from our sponsors on a Bear Lake Community Health Center presentation of Rich Rebel Sports, 98.3 The Wildlife.
In the state where life is elevated, live your life in a higher gear. Cash Honda Yamaha can help you enjoy our beautiful local terrain, whether it's in the valleys, mountains, snow, or water. So get out and enjoy all nature has to offer at a higher speed. Visit Cash Honda Yamaha in Cache Valley to start living your life at your new speed. Visit us in Hyde Park, just north of Logan, Utah.
Here we go, dipping into our Stacy's Repair second quarter. Right now, the Manila Mustangs lead by 10, 16-6. And right now, the 3 ball's been killing the Rich Rebels. Quite a few shots from beyond the arc between different Manila players have found its mark. Out onto the court, Nate Woods, Jaden Cornea, Riley Carrillo, Noah Perry and Trey Walker. Carrillo righted by Hughes, now left elbow. Noah Perry keeps the basketball, has it stripped away by Hughes. Hughes on a dead sprint all the way down the court. Met by Carrillo. Good block. Partially blocked. Hughes ends up with his own offensive rebound. Finds Zane Thomas behind himself as the Rich Rebels left him open after they doubled Hughes on the right side block in the first points of the second quarter, taken by the Manila Mustangs. 18-6. Cornea falling into a couple different Manila players, and now 3 Rich Rebel players falling on top of the ball. Just crazy. Ball will go to the Manila Mustangs after the jump ball. If it would have been called by the majority of players, it seemed like the entire Rebel team had arms on the ball and then one Manila player, and then still jump ball. Swap of possessions. Hughes out here to the left side by Hayden Gailey. Up to the very top, Zane Thomas. Now to the right side. Slaw working in. Tuck Davis bouncing off of the head of Zane Thomas after he left his feet going up for the shot. It will bounce off of his head, go out of bounds on the near side. Mound Valley Cattle Company inbound to Jaden Cornea, and now Nate Woods with ball handling duties. Struts across the timeline. Right side, Trey Walker almost has it stolen away by Slaw. And Slaw has been stellar on defense, and he's been jumping the passes, and that's what's been causing some issues, working it to the right side. Nate Woods, again, hounded. Cornea, hounded by Hughes. Nate Woods on the right side wing. Up to the top, Noah Perry. Impressive defense by the Manila Mustangs. At the very top, Trey Walker slowing it down just a little bit here, has to set up his offense back again. Nate Woods, left side wing, looks inside, back cut here. Noah Perry has to wrestle a couple different Manila Mustangs away. Tuck Davis, both going for the basketball. And they were going to say it's last touch by the Rich Rebels. Or was there a foul? I wasn't able to see. Either way, the Manila Mustangs with the inbound here on the near sideline. Into Tuck Davis right on midcourt. Tuck Davis keeps it himself, goes in, stops right at the left elbow, and kicks it back out to Slaw at the very top. Hughes driving in, floater up in the lane, good with the right hand. 20-6 for the Mustangs. Nate Woods pumps right, picks up his dribble, needs the savior. Noah Perry's there to save him on the right side. A travel by Noah Perry here after saving Nate Woods and a turnover. Hughes with blazing speed, and Coach Hughes talked about that earlier. Here comes a drive from Tuck Davis, and a foul called in the face. He's just gonna bop his nose a little bit, and a technical foul on the Rich Rebel bench. Two shots coming up here with the shooting foul as well as the technical foul coming up. The Rebel bench not feeling as though that they have been getting an equal call, and I think that's where the frustration's really stemming from. Right now, it's very hard as an official, as a former official myself, not necessarily for basketball but for football, when the game goes so quickly, it's incredibly difficult to be able to see everything going on. And the boys right now are practically wrestling for everything at this moment. Stellar defense from either side. Whether you call it stellar defense or smothering defense, it is defense nonetheless, and a technical foul on the Rich Rebel bench. Missed technical free throw by Tuck Davis, the junior. He's going to get one more. He misses both of them. I guess the ball doesn't lie. And now the shooting fouls coming up here. Is it a double technical? So they made the Rich Rebels go back after the two technical free throws, and now Kyler Hughes is shooting. with nobody around him. He makes the first one. 5:39 left before halftime here. Kyler Hughes makes both of them. So between Tuck Davis and Kyler Hughes, they go 50% from the line. And the ball will go back to the Mustangs, I believe. Inbounding from the far sideline right at midcourt. Working from right to left. Now everyone's had a little chance to take a breather here. They're going to inbound to Tuck Davis. Hughes, Walker working against each other. Hughes spinning around Walker into the lane, and that is beautiful. Spinning around Walker at the top of the arc, driving with the right hand, putting it up softly off the glass. 24-6. Nate Woods to the right side. Works his way up to the very top now to Hunter Pace, and it's just out of the reach of Hunter Pace's arms, and a turnover. The ball will go out of bounds. Noah Perry's going to come out of the ball game. Carson Muirbrook will come in. What has been a very lopsided game so far. Manila has been running away with this ball, blowing past Trey Walker again. Kyler Hughes misses the layup. Walker getting it up to Pace at midcourt, and then a handoff to Nate Woods. Nate calling an offensive set. He's going to work his way right and then pass it out to the left for Trey Walker, left side wing extended. Up to the very top of the arc, Carrillo now out to the right side, Nate Woods, who's worked his way around the arc and back down the sideline. Now up again to the very top. Carrillo now to the left side, Trey Walker. They haven't been able to get it inside anywhere. He's going to get a screen from Carson Muirbrook. Picked up his dribble. And a double dribble call. I can't say that I saw it because Carson Muirbrook's frame kind of blocked it. I gotta say I didn't quite see it. And our officials are gathering together, just having a little bit of a conference right now. And the officials are going to reverse the call. And now Manila's coaching staff a little upset about it. I think everybody's really upset about every call going on right now. A lot of high emotion right now in the gym. And our officials are not going to take, whether it's the Rich Rebel bench or the Manila bench, they're not going to take crap from everybody. So here comes the first warning for Manila's bench and the coaching staff. All right, Nate Woods after the Mound Valley Cattle Company inbound play. Kinney corner right on the dead on the far sideline. Now working his way to the near sideline, Trey Walker, right side wing. Walker not finding anybody. Tipped up out of bounds. Last touch by Manila. Will stay with the Rich Rebels as it was trying to be worked into the paint. 4:17 left here before halftime. Whistle and Nate Woods looking for somebody. Good defense all around. Stolen away by Kyler Hughes. And Hughes and Walker will both battle for it. Right near the half-court line on the far sideline, it will go rolling out of bounds, but it will stay with the Manila Mustangs. Hughes, crossover in front of Trey Walker, and a little put-up shot, a little push shot. No good on that one. Trey Walker pushing it up himself after the defensive rebound. Walker up to the right side now by Pace, a screen by Carrillo. Double team Pace in the lane. Nate Woods comes up with the ball right on the right side block. Throws it up and just hits the back of the iron. Ball goes almost out of bounds. Hughes and a cherry-picking Tuck Davis missing the little bunny just underneath the basket, but he got fouled by Nate Woods. .340 left here before we take our halftime break. Tuck Davis, the junior, back, finding himself back again at the free throw line. He missed his technical free throws, both of them. Let's see if he can make these ones. This one, no good. Bouncing off the right of the iron, then shooting out to the left. 0 for 3 so far in the game. Carter Hoffman checking in for Trey Walker. Second shot coming up for Davis. That that one up and good. So he goes 1 for 4, and now Manila up 25-6. Nate Woods across the timeline quickly, setting up into their offense. Looks to the left, goes left out to Hoffman. That's on the left sideline extended. Hoffman working up against the Manila Mustang defense. Nate Woods now on the right baseline, feeding in Carson Muirbrook. That's a pretty pass. Carson Muirbrook spinning up with the right hand, and that will put the Rich Rebel score up to 8. Hughes being forced left by Nate Woods, and now Slaw coming across to the right around the horn. Hand off to Davis, and Davis will put a little floater up there. Ends up in the arms of Pace with the defensive rebound. Pace back to Carrillo, and now Nate Woods again with the point guard position. Working from left to right on their offensive side of the court. Pace, a screen from Carrillo, and it's stolen away by Tuck Davis. Tuck Davis all the way coast to coast. Misses the layup. I don't know if he was just a little bit off balance. Nobody touched him, but a missed opportunity there for Manila. Hunter Pace now with the basketball, goes out to the right side for Nate Woods on the right side wing. Up to the very top of the arc, Carrillo looking inside, backside cut for Pace. Loses the handles, and it'll go the other way. The Rebels starting to get a little frustrated with the physicality of the Manila defense right now. Turnover, and now Hughes working up against Nate Woods. Gavin Gonder kicking out to the right side, and now Muir finding himself alone, takes the three, rims out, no good. Pace coming down with the long rebound, right side baseline, inside to Carrillo. Hoffman and Carrillo in the same position. Ends up kind of working to the detriment of the Rich Rebels, actually. Pace inside, tipped away. Muir working on the left side baseline, finding Hughes, almost stepped on the line out of bounds. Now Gavin Gonder underneath the arms on the right side block, up with the right hand. Carson Muirbrook could not defend it, now 27-8. Nate Woods, right hand dribble beyond the arc, extended straight away. Now Hoffman, right side to Carrillo. Carrillo, dribble crossover to the right elbow, up to Pace. Pace, one dribble, back up. Right side Carrillo now. Getting a feed from Pace, who has to get it back up to the top for Nate Woods. A little reset. Carson Muirbrook, far corner. Spinning around Slaw, and then a push shot by Pace, too far. Carrillo stealing it away from Pace. Another offensive rebound. Another offensive rebound for the Rebels. 3 offensive rebounds to pad the stats. And finally, Carson Muirbrook puts it in, and now the Rebels have hit the double-digit mark. Down 17, 27-10. Davis, left side dribble up against Muirbrook. Now up to the top, Muir. Right near the logo at the very top of half court. Now Slaw working to the left. Backdoor cut by Davis. He goes right into Carrillo. Carrillo goes to pick him up as Tuck was expecting the contact and kind of fell to the floor. He's going to get the call here. Shooting 25% from the free throw line so far. Tuck Davis has a chance to get this even farther of an extension for the lead for the Mustangs. He's at the free throw line, puts up the first shot, up and good. Carrillo's going to come out, take a blow about 30 seconds before the end of half, as well as Nate Woods. So Hayden Weston's come back in. He had 2 fouls really early in the game. Cornea checking in as well. Davis, 2 for 2 on that series of free throws. Cornea working it down the floor. Hughes has been a thorn in the side of Cornea so far. Pace, dribble, shot to the right, pushing that shot too far. Tuck Davis, the only one that can stop him is Hunter Pace. Euro step, up and above, and the foul, and one. Tuck Davis with the long stride. The points count, 31 now for the Mustangs. A chance for a 3-point play. Davis pushes that one home. Nothing but net, 32-10. Cornea Dribbles to the left of Hughes. Out to the left side, Cornea. Left side baseline jumper, up and good. That's pretty. Final points of the half. Heave. Too far to the right, misses the backboard completely from the Mustangs. So your halftime score, Manila 32, Rich 12. We'll come back to you and hear from Coach Lex Cornea about this game for our halftime show, brought to you by the Crawford Trough. Thank you so very much, and thanks for joining us here on mylocalradio.com. A Bear Lake Community Health Center presentation of Rich Rebel Sports on 98.3 The Wildlife.
You rely on your vehicle every day. Make sure your ride gets the best service, repairs, and maintenance possible. Stacy's Repair in Woodruff provides the highest quality, the latest technology, and the newest equipment to give your vehicle the absolute best auto care available. Family owned and operated since 1992, your friends at Stacy's Repair promise to always deliver value and outstanding, honest, and knowledgeable service, regardless of repair size or difficulty. Stacy's Repair, the ones who truly care.
Here we go, back here for the action in our halftime show. We're going to go ahead and dip into our Crawford Trough halftime show. Hear from the Crawford Trough and then come back to you in just a moment on 98.3 The Wildlife.
Sometimes you just start craving a really good, juicy burger. Add cheese, maybe some bacon, and all the fixins that make every bite even better than the bite before it. Add a side of hand-cut fries, onion rings, or crisp tater tots, and top it off with an amazing ice cream cone. Or maybe a raspberry shake. Just thinking about it makes me hungry. When your stomach is grumbling like an angry bear and your cravings call out, head right down to the Crawford Trough in Randolph. The place to eat and drink. Stop in today.
Randolph, Utah is a town of extremes. At an elevation of 6,300 feet, with temperatures over 90 in the summer and often 40 below in the winter, the folks who call Randolph home have to be a hardy crew. Maybe that is one reason why the simple things in life mean so much to Rich County. Residents value hard work, education, a value for God, family, and country, and being a good neighbor. Mayor Sim Bell and the town board, Melanie Lim, Clay Barker, Brandon Hatch, and Frank Sano, support the Rich Rebels and hope that you can come back often. Welcome back to our halftime show today. Currently, right now, the Manila Mustangs in the lead 32-12 off of stellar defense and great play by the guards Tuck and Davis. Right now, the Manila administration is presenting right now, the Manila Mustangs are presenting their homecoming royalty at the moment. As we watch homecoming royalty happen, let's go ahead and hear from Coach Lex Cornea about this game. Coach, let's go ahead, take it away. Rich Rebel fans, here on the Coach's Corner again. Coach Lex Cornea back with us after a huge win against ICS. And Coach Cornea, I think first and foremost, the relief of having the lid off the basket for the athletes, everybody in the building, was just big overall from a broadcasting as you know. it's great to catch up with Coach Lex Cornea, and I wanted to play a different interview that I had with Lex. It was not this one, but rather an interview with him about this upcoming week. Rich Rebel fans, joined here with Coach Lex Cornea as we get prepped and ready for the Manila game coming up this week. Coach Cornea, it's been awesome to see the boys coming out and, putting together such a clinic. The shots have been falling. There's great chemistry for the team right now. Coach, what has impressed you most about the boys' play as of recently?
Well, we put together a nice little streak of 3 wins here. I think the thing I'm most impressed about is just their ability to withstand runs. There was a time when teams like Mount Vernon and like a Telos Academy, a school like that they were not competitive at all, and I think that time has kind of changed. I mean, we know that Mount Vernon is nowhere close to the top of the state, but they do have kids that can play, and last year they had the Lamson kid who is now a starter for I believe it's Highlands, had 17 starts on a 6A program as a sophomore and was their leading scorer, and he played on that team last year. And this year they've got a kid that grew up, that played with him, and it's kind of used to that system, and they've got kids that can play. Tilo, same thing. The Weiss kid is actually John Shire's nephew, the next coach at Duke. A kid out of Chicago that gets brought in, and he can play ball. So just our kids' ability to withstand runs against a team that, they were better than that night, but that doesn't mean the team's going to roll over and just let it happen. And both those games, got tight and were dogfights, and just the way that we were able to keep going, never panic, and come out on top at the end was really impressive.
Coach, this play has been very impressive. We've touched up on it a few times. Have the boys hit that next level that they've been aiming for since the preseason? And if they have, then what's the next level look like after this?
I hope we haven't. And really where the rubber meets the road in our region anyways is, when Tabby, Manila, now Altamont, that's really who we need to measure ourselves against, and primarily Manila, as a third-ranked team in the state, and a team I think, could very well be in the last two teams playing. So, that's where we'll see. But we've talked about, that's been the focus all year long, is it doesn't matter how we start or where we are in the middle. The goal is to play our best basketball at the end of the year. And so I hope we haven't played our best. I hope this isn't a peak, because, there's just a time in a basketball season where things are clicking, and it's hard to get to a level beyond that. And right now, in these last three games, even though we've had wins, I don't think that we have really just clicked and been on the same page for 32 minutes. We've been doing better, and we've played well enough to win, and I'm glad we've had some games against opponents that aren't the matchup problems that we've had, earlier in the season. But we know those teams are coming in again, going to Manila this Saturday, and then Tabby and Altamont coming here. That we do have to hit that point where things just click, and they click for 32 minutes, not just in short bursts.
Coach, you mentioned a little bit about Manila. It's no secret that Manila is an incredibly talented and young team. They've got budding stars at the 1A level in Tuck and Hughes. What are the keys that can really help a team like the Rich Rebels to steal a win in Manila Friday?
Well, we have to play, 32 minutes of basketball. We can't have lapses, and that's on both ends of the floor. The first time we played them here, we had, in the first quarter, we scored 2 points. In the second quarter, or in the third quarter, we did not score. And, you look back at those quarters, and it wasn't that we didn't have, decent shot attempts, decent looks. We just couldn't get them to go down. But those lapses, no kid is out there trying to miss a shot that they take. People don't do that. But, we have to just get that extra inch, that extra foot, whatever it is, that extra half second on our timing that allow that shot percentage to go up. And, on the defensive end, I thought against Manila, our defense was good. And we need to have another great effort like that. But, in a game like this, 1 point is worth more than one. Last year we had 2 games against them, and I think the winning team each time scored, 36 points. And when you do have just a defensive battle like that, every point is more valuable than it is in a game where, you're going to win 65 to 58. So we've just preached that, you have to lock in and focus and be in the right spots at the right time for 32 minutes. But we gave Manila problems the last time we played them. These kids aren't afraid of them. They've been playing them forever. And I know their ears are pricked, and they're ready to go to Manila and take a good team out of what they want to do. And I think we're equipped to do that.
Coach, just my last question here. The boys currently right now are sitting at 17th now in the RPI after a little bit of a bump up from, beating Telos and Mount Vernon. It brings up the question, ideally, what kind of goal does the team have in terms of positioning for state playoff seeding? Is that even on anybody's mind coming up at the end of the month?
Your goal going into the season is always, in the format we have, to not have to play a play-in game. With some of our losses, and where we are right now, we know that's probably off the table. I don't think we have the games left to climb up in those top 8 spots. So now our goal is we want to play at home. And I think that the way we play here, I think we played our best basketball of our season so far at home. we realize that's a huge advantage, and that has to be what we're pushing for. To just have that first game in our home gym, have the excitement and the crowd behind us, not against us, and use that as momentum going into state. That being said, though, there's lots of avenues to the last game of the season. You don't have to be the number one seed. You don't have to have a home playing game to be able to go play well and mix things up and have a chance at winning the whole thing. And the nice thing about Utah is we all get a chance, and we'd like to be at home, but if we end up getting on a bus and going somewhere else to earn our way into state, I know with this team, they'll embrace that and they'll go get after it and try to give us a great shot at doing that. So that's the goal. But, the end goal is March 5th. And there's a lot of water to go on the bridge before then. So, as long as guys keep perspective, they know that each game's important, but they know that none of these games are, the last one of the season. And just keep that perspective and keep improving. I like our chances going into March.
Coach, best of luck up against Manila and the upcoming weeks in your last little push here in region.
Thanks, Cody. I appreciate it.
That was Coach Lex Cornea, and, Lex, that was taken pregame, and right now the Rich Rebels are looking at a 20-point deficit, and it's really thanks to stellar performance by the junior duo, Tuck Davis, Kyler Hughes. Kyler especially has been able to weave, dip, and drive into the paint at will using speed. And also the Manila Mustangs have been able to accomplish something that isn't really necessarily easy to do, and that is to rattle not only the players, but just everybody. Like intensity has been the name of the game for the Manila Mustangs. We apologize if our broadcast seemed a little out of sorts. We had a roster set for the Mustangs, and they're using their retro jerseys tonight, so nothing was correct that I had written down pregame. So now it's a little bit of a challenge. 3 minutes left here before halftime. Let's take a quick break, come back to you for what the Rebels can do to get back into this and what Manila can do to ice this game on a Bear Lake Community Health Center presentation of Rich Rebel Sports on 98.3 The Wildlife.
Signage is a critical part of your business. It helps customers find your front door. Rocky Mountain Sign will provide you with expertly designed signs, LEDs, channel letters, as well as skillfully cut signage using wood, metal, plastic, and other mediums to help your customers find you with high-quality signage. Using the best technology, designs, and installation by Rocky Mountain Sign. Your signage says a lot about your business. Work with the professionals at Rocky Mountain Sign, 243 7th Street in Evanston, Wyoming.
Now you've got a safe and secure place to store your boat, RV, ATVs, and other vehicles right in town. T-Bar Body Shop offers storage for just $35 per month. Long and short-term storage options are available. Of course, T-Bar Body Shop also offers custom bodywork when you have an accident. We work with your insurance directly and get the job done right. T-Bar Body Shop offers a wide range of services. Stop in today and see how the ways T-Bar can serve you. 515 County Road, Evanston. Let T-Bar fix your car.
In the state where life is elevated, live your life in a higher gear. Cash Honda Yamaha can help you enjoy our beautiful local terrain, whether it's in the valleys, mountains, snow, or water. So get out and enjoy all nature has to offer at a higher speed. Visit Cash Honda Yamaha in Cache Valley to start living your life at your new speed. Visit us in Hyde Park, just north of Logan, Utah.
As high school sports fans, we know that sometimes you have to drive a long way to get to the next game. If you find yourself on the side of the road, remember that Freeway Tire in Evanston offers service calls and roadside assistance 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. It's a great idea to have your vehicle serviced, tires checked, and oil changed to make sure it's in top shape before your next long drive. Visit Freeway Tire today, your locally owned and operated tire shop. Freeway Tire, 217 Bear River Drive, Evanston.
This concludes our halftime show today, brought to you by the Crawford Trough in Randolph. That's juicy burgers, thick shakes, and other delicious menu selections. Enjoy a meal at the Crawford Trough today, the place to eat and drink. Dipping into our Bear Lake Realty fan cam here one last time. Gary and Amber McKee are here to help you to be able to find your next new home in Bear Lake. It's one phone call away at 435-946-8888. So here we go as into our Epic Recreation third quarter we will go. The Rich Rebels trailing by 20, 32-12 to the Manila Mustangs. And golly gee, it felt like it was what a series of events the first half really was. And I felt like the Rebels were getting a little bit rattled, a little bit out of their element. They just got to settle in, play their game. They've been able to make some shots, and Riley Carrillo and Carson Muirbrook have been able to get some really easy stuff inside, a couple offensive rebounds. And if I were the Rebels, it'd be starting on the inside. If you're able to get the little shots up first, then you're able to come back, make some ones from beyond the arc. You also got to step in front of the defense. You got to step in front of Kyler Hughes and Tuck Davis because they're playing with serious intensity right now. The Rebels will start off with the basketball, and it will be a turnover. Hunter Pace is going to try and do a little spin move on the far side corner, and it's going to go careening out of bounds. So here comes Hughes across the line. Right dribble, right hand, and now settling up into their offense. Left side, Slaw. A little zone tuck. Davis trying to push that shot in the paint. Has to kick it outside. Slaw pumps the three, drives into the feint. Floater, no good, and Carrillo rips down the defensive board. So no points for either team on the first possession of the game. Cornea to the right side is going to try and do a little dribble handoff to Hunter Pace, who picks it up from his knees as it was mishandled a little bit. Backdoor cut, a little floater from Cornea, and for some reason that ball did not want to find its home whatsoever. That was an open shot about 5 feet away from the basket for Cornea. It bounced off the front, bounced off the back, and then fell going to the near sideline. Mound Valley Cattle Company inbound into Carrillo on the far corner, up to the top now for Cornea. Cornea to Pace, guarded by Slaw. Slaw's done some great defense, is a little frustrated Hunter Pace today. Carrillo getting it, rolling out. Tuck Davis able to out-jump Carrillo, and now Hughes, 2-on-1 fast break into the body of Pace. No good, and an offensive rebound by the Manila Mustangs. Davis pulls it back out from beneath the basket and gets it out to Hughes at the very top. Hughes looks to his bench, looking for some direction, and now goes right against Cornea on the near sideline. Now near corner into Zane Thomas. Zane Thomas guarded by Hayden Weston. A body right there. Could have been 5 seconds instead. A long three from Slaw. Just off to the right, bounces low, and Hayden Weston picks it up from his knees. Cornea driving up against Hughes and has to pull it back out. Weston left elbow, now to the right for Cornea. Carrillo slowing down, back up to the top, resetting the offense. Right side, Hoffman. Wing looking, picks up his dribble, steps through it to Weston. Weston throws it into the paint, easily intercepted. Tuck Davis and Hughes following into the lane. And a score on the layup for the Manila Mustangs. First points of the second half go to the Mustangs, 34-12. Cornea poked away. Now Cornea deflects it back. It's still up in the air, and now an alley-oop dribble stop for Davis. Getting a feed from Hughes from right side to left side on the left side block. Hesitates, gets cocked up on the head, and misses the layup, but he's going to go for two. Welcome to our Epic Recreation third quarter. First one up for Davis. Good. 35-12. That's Epic Recreation. Make your vacation an epic one to remember. Rentals in Bear Lake. Call 435-946-EPIC or find them on Facebook at epicrecreation.net. Plains Tire points in the paint's desperately needed for the Rich Rebels right now, as fast break points for Manila has been the name of the game here in the second half. Second made free throw from Davis, up and good, 36-12. Cornea forced to the right by Hughes, another steal. Slaw working up and around, throwing it up, misses everything, and a foul called against Manila as Carter Hoffman came down with the defensive rebound, and then a couple Manila players were reaching into the cookie jar. Kind of got slapped Hoffman on the arms, and that will be a foul. 5:21 left here in our third quarter. So out on the court for the Rich Rebels, Walker, Nate Woods, who's coming up the floor from right to left, Cornea, Weston, and Carrillo. Almost stolen away again. Slaw has really found himself in a position to really hound the ball carrier. Trey Walker drove from the left wing into the paint, left his feet, and threw it into the arms of a Manila Mustang. Davis out to the right. Slaw for three on the near corner. Bounced off the left side of the rim, high up in the air. Carrillo finally corrals it. Back up to Cornea, pushing it quickly up to the very top of the arc. And body of Hughes goes throwing out onto the floor. There's contact, and I think both sides are really trying to wonder if there's contact and bodies are flying everywhere, then there has to be some type of foul. Either it's a charge or it's a block, or maybe the referees are just letting things play out organically right now. Carrillo getting the inbound, looks inside for Weston. He's denied. He has to go back up to the top. Now Weston, poke from behind. Ball up for grabs on the near corner. Carrillo ends up with it. Nate Woods now back door cut for Trey Walker and a travel. Trey got ahead of his feet, and it's going to get called for the travel. Turnover, and Hughes will go up to Slaw. Slaw working up against the 2-3's defense here and making quick work of it. Gavin Gonder, who was right inside the paint, worked one-on-one against Hayden West and push shot with the right hand up and good. 38-12. Nate Woods, right hand dribble, goes out to the right side for Trey Walker, who's going to get a screen from Carrillo. Goes to the left, spinning into the lane, blocked. Good block by the Manila defense. Hughes up and around, goes right into the body of Carrillo, off the glass, up and good. Fast break points again, coming in droves for the Manila Mustangs. Forcing again, Hughes poking that ball away. Gonder up in the arms of Trey Walker. Trey Walker cannot stop the fast break points, and an official timeout. And a technical foul on Trey Walker. So Trey Walker's going to get called for a technical foul. I believe it was for, I think it's not anything for anything physical out on the court. I think Trey's just getting a little frustrated. Maybe said something to himself out loud that wasn't the best thing in the entire world. And we're going to go ahead and take the timeout as the score is 42-12 for the Manila Mustangs. Come back to you in 30 on a Bear Lake Community Health Center presentation of Rich Rebel Sports.
Whether you're kicking up dust in the hills, making waves down on the lake, or taking advantage of the world's greatest powder, don't just hope to have fun. Take that sled by the handlebars and make your time at Bear Lake epic. Epic Recreation rents equipment and cabins for your vacation fun at beautiful Bear Lake. From watercraft large and small to UTVs, sleds, and more, Epic Recreation has it all to go on-road, off-road, or out on the Caribbean blue water. Book your adventure at epicrecreation.net.
They say the three most important things in life for many people are their faith, their family, and their high school sports. And not necessarily in that order. Advertise where you'll get noticed. Call My Local Radio and become a sports advertiser today. Welcome back, Rich Rebel fans, as we are joined here in the booth for the continuation of our Epic Recreation third quarter. Right now, currently, the Rich Rebels down 42-12, and technical free throws coming up for Hughes after the foul called on Trey Walker. First one up for Hughes, up and good, bottom of the net. Now up 43-12. Second one, that one's good. 44-12, and right now Manila sprinting ahead of the Rich Rebels with 3.5 minutes left here in our Epic Recreation third quarter. Slaw's going to get the inbound from the far sideline. Works his way to the right and then goes back to the left for Muir. Inside now. And now a 3-second call as Gavin Gonder hesitated in the lane for a little while and then kicked it out to the right side for Tuck Davis, who took the three, but before he could take that shot, the Manila Mustangs called for 3-second violation in the key. Cornea right side, high above his head, trying to keep the ball away from Manila defense. Pace with his back to the basket, right side elbow to Carson Muirbrook, who finds himself alone, spinning into the lane. Good shot, and one. He goes right into the body of Tuck Davis. And I got to say something, I'm very impressed with Carson Muirbrook as an underclassman, being able to come into the game. He's had some very, very impressive finesse moves in the post play that really gives you some hope and some electricity coming off of the bench right there. So he made the 2-point bucket, got bumped, and then free throw was short. Tuck Davis throws the ball right into the feet of Cornea, who's going to kick it back out to the left, out the baseline. It will go back to the Mustangs. 14-44. Right side corner. Tuck Davis back up at the top for Slaw. Slaw working up against Nate Woods. Muir feeding inside again. Zane Thomas pushes it long, and now Nate Woods, the smallest one on the court, comes away with the rebound, pushing it up with the floor very quickly into the lane. Has to pick up his dribble. Back up to the top for Carson Muirbrook. Muirbrook goes out to the left, and then Pace. Slaw will get called for the hold as he is guarding Hunter Pace. Slaw's been on top of Pace all game, and I think that's the first hand check that they've called on him. Muirbrook trying to find a cut from Cornea, and it's going to lead to a turnover. And now Manila all the way onto their own side of the court. Tuck Davis working his way out to the right side. Thought about the three. Now gives it to Slaw. Near corner. Nate Woods feeding inside. Zane Thomas walking with the ball. No call, I thought, but maybe I wasn't able to see much. Muir up to the top, dribble handoff to Hughes. Slaw right side back into Thomas. Thomas up and underneath, reverse layup with the right hand. Good for the Manila Mustangs, 46-14. Here with 1:40 left here in the Epic Recreation third quarter. Pace gets the feed out to the left side extended wing. Back to Carrillo right at the very top of the arc. Carrillo is kind of pitching it back to Cornea, now out to Pace. Pace tries to force it inside. It's going to get intercepted by Hughes. And a quick foul before points can be scored on the fast break. Pace will touch Hughes at the very top, right above the arc. And we're going to get a substitution. Noah Perry's going to come in, as well as Carter Hoffman. Carrillo and Pace will come out of the game. Muir. Inbound into Hughes. Back to Muir on the near side, feeding into Zane Thomas. Pushing that one far. It's going to be a long rebound. Cornea with Wolf behind him. Almost loses the basketball. Into Muirbrook. Muirbrook throws it back over to the right side baseline. Cornea bouncing it off the front of the rim. Muirbrook gets fouled, trying to get that put back right in the middle of the paint. He'll go to the line for two. Muirbrook up and good on the first attempt. And now we get a little bit of a substitution for Manila. Slaw will come out, as well as Thomas and Muir. Into the game, we see Morgan Walters, the senior. Second shot up for Muirbrook, this time just a tad too far. And a rebound by Manila. Back into the arms of Hughes as he's got 50 seconds to kill before the end of the third quarter. Going to be met right at half court by Cornea. Spins off to the right, now gets it out here to Hayden Gailey. A little push hook, baby hook by Morgan Walters, no good. It will roll out to the left. Last touched by Manila as a couple people went for it, go out the back line. Perry into Nate Woods. Looking at Coach Cornea out on his left. He's trying to work it in for that offensive set. Hoffman, left side wing. One dribble hop to Perry at the very top of the arc. Muirbrook to Nate Woods. Now out to the right side. Hoffman, dribble drive on the right elbow. Now a dribble handoff. Ball goes up for grabs. Cornea able to come up with it as Muirbrook lost control of it, trying to spin to his right. The ball goes flinging out to his back. Nate Woods for three at the buzzer. No! Off the backboard, rolled around once, and then rimmed out. Couldn't happen. Basketball God said no on that one. That's the end of three. We'll go into our fourth quarter in just a moment. Thank you for joining us on 98.3 The Wildlife. Special thanks to all of you and our sponsors who keep us out on the air. It's been an absolute treat. We'll come back on a Bear Lake Community Health Center presentation of Rich Rebel Basketball, 98.3 The Wildlife.
Wyoming is unique. When it comes to high school sports, we might travel 6 hours to a game, but when we get there, we know the other team, their parents, and the coaches. Wyoming is like one small town with really long streets. When your travels take you to Evanston, always stay with your friends at the Best Western Dunmar Inn. Clean, comfortable rooms, a restaurant serving healthy, delicious food, and breakfast is always included. If you're bringing the team or following the team, stay with us every time you're in Evanston. The Best Western Dunmar Inn.
Nothing makes your kid feel like a superstar more than seeing his or her very own Fathead in the stands. Fathead car decals and yard signs are inexpensive and easy to get at Rocky Mountain Sign in Evanston. Whether it's for the big game or to cheer on the high school band, our children make us proud in so many ways. Show your pride today. Go Rebels! West Star Printing and Rocky Mountain Sign, 243 7th Street, Evanston.
Here for the start of our Bear Lake Memorial Hospital fourth quarter, the Manila Mustangs will start off with the basketball going right. One-on-one, Hughes on Hoffman. Great little feed around the back of Hughes to the left side block as he dribbled right into the paint. That's number 11 scoring his first points. Jay Carroll. 48-15 is your score here in Manila as the Rich Rebels now on offense. Carrillo getting a feed from the left side wing from Nate Woods. Back up to the top. Weston back in for Carrillo. Carrillo dribbling around Tuck Davis, blocked by Davis. Davis with the block and now out to Hughes, who's going to push it quickly in transition. Out to the right side, Gailey up to the top for Davis up beyond the arc, and then Hughes is going to slow it down right back again. Right at Hoffman. Kick out to the left side for three. That one's good. Morgan Walters, 51-15. For the Mustangs. Rebels just trying to buy a bucket right now. Right side elbow, Hoffman caught up in no man's land, has to get it back up to the top for Cornea. Cornea drives right into the body of Hughes, dribble handoff, Hoffman. Spinning and a little pass off to Hayden Weston and a travel. Hoffman gets called for the travel before he could complete an assist to Hayden Weston, who had a clear line to the bucket, but instead a turnover. Drake Weston set to check in here into the game with about 6.5 minutes left here before the end. Another dribble kick out. This time an air ball by Hayden Gailey. Out of bounds it will go, and it will go with the Rich Rebels. Buckwheat, Hunter Pace, and Drake Weston into the ball game. Carrillo, Cornea, and Nate Woods come out. Drake Weston. Up across the sideline, across the timeline, out to the right. Buckwheat working it back to Weston. Now on the near corner on the left, driving and gets swatted. Ball goes careening into the padding underneath the basket. Drake Weston with an aggressive drive, but even better defense by the Manila Mustangs. Mound Valley Cattle Company inbound. Ball stolen away by Hunter Pace. Hunter Pace with a turnover, and Hughes leaving it out for Gailey. Back up to Hughes as they had an easy bucket, but a missed layup now has to make the Mustangs pull back out. Hoffman, Gailey not on the same page. Ball goes into the Mustang bench. Hunter Pace had the turnover. That's what I said. Or maybe I have to correct myself. Sometimes my brain works faster than my mouth, especially when boys are running all around up and down the court for this intense basketball game at the moment. Drake Weston out to the left side. Hunter Pace trying to feed it in for Buckwheat. Instead gets it to Hayden Weston. Now Buckwheat trying to keep his hands on it. Drake Weston gets the double tip out there. Buck up into the arms of Zane Thomas. Bounces a couple times on the rim. Gets his own offensive rebound. 2 shots coming up for Buckwheat as he worked hard for those couple shots and his own offensive rebound. He'll get fouled. No bucket, but a chance for 2 points and to get on the score sheet for Buckwheat. Buckwheat's first one, no good. Just pushes it a little far to the left, goes shooting out to the right into the arms of our official. Puts up his one finger left. One more shot here. A deep breath for Buckwheat. 2 bounces and then a shot up. That one's good. 16 points now for the Rich Rebels. Slaw. Feed inside Thomas, who's going to get hounded, and a jump ball. Hunter Pace and Hayden Weston double team to make life difficult for Zane Thomas, the junior. And it's going to flop possessions. Weston strolling, skipping across the timeline, gets it out to the right for Hoffman. Hoffman up to the top for Pace. Now Weston getting a feed on the top. High pass, chest pass into Hoffman, who's going to go up into the arms, blocked. And now a wrestle for the ball right on the left block. Hoffman and a timeout before the ball can be stolen away by Manila. We'll take it here in our 4th quarter. Thanks for joining us. We'll come back to you on a Bear Lake Community Health Center presentation of Rich Rebel Sports on 98.3 The Wildlife.
For years, people from all over have counted on the competent staff and first-class facilities at Bear Lake Memorial Hospital in Montpelier, Idaho. Consistently named one of the top rural hospitals in the country, Bear Lake Memorial Hospital provides a wide range of treatments no matter what you need. Whether it be a simple visit to their expanded ER, a visit to their in-house MRI machine, or if you need more advanced treatments like chemotherapy or dialysis. The staff at Bear Lake Memorial Hospital cares about your health and will do everything they can to help you. Bear Lake Memorial Hospital in Montpelier, Idaho, the most caring hospital on earth.
Back into our 4th quarter with under 5 minutes to play. Buckwheat getting the inbounds, gets it back up at the top for Pace, who goes to the right, dribbling now just outside the paint, and a foul called as Pace rose high above, right near the right elbow. Misses the shot, but, he gets a chance to at least earn it from the line. Going to earn it the hard way. Manila not giving up any easy shots, even late into this ball game. Manila up 51-16, just under 5 minutes left. First shot up for Pace, up and good. Pace had a couple early shots in this game, tried to get momentum going for the Rebels, but Manila and their smothering defense has just kind of made life difficult for the Rebels tonight. Second one, no good, and the ball goes back into the arms of Pace. Pace kind of touched from behind, and then another foul on Manila. That one's on Slaw. 1-and-1 bonus coming up, as that is now the 7th foul committed by the Mustangs. This one's on Buckwheat. Well, Buckwheat gets to go to the line. Buckwheat didn't foul, but Buckwheat was fouled. English. Buckwheat's first shot. That one, front of the rim, back of the backboard, and good. Now up to 18. 4:45 exactly left before the end of regulation. Next one, wet for Buckwheat, nothing but net. 19 points now for the Rebels. Morgan Walters met by Pace right at the midcourt line, and now going out to Slaw on the left. Slaw high above his head, looks inside, goes up to the top for Zane Thomas, who works it out to the right side. Now Buckwheat's going to get called for a foul as he bodies up. He bodies up number 11, Jay Carroll. They're both fighting for position, and it was just a little bit too much. As Buckwheat and Carroll share smiles and a fist pump right at the free throw line. All in good fun. Zane Thomas stuttered while getting his inbound on the left side block, got behind a Rebel defender, pump faked and got 2 Rebels up in the air, got fouled on the arm. To the line he will go. That one's on Weston, Hayden Weston. Zane Thomas, 2 shots. First one, far out to the right, just kind of grazed the right side of the rim. No good. One more shot coming up. It's Thomas's second one. Exact same spot out to the right, but an offensive rebound. Fading away, Jay Carroll. Offensive rebound and then fell out to his right on the right side baseline. Up to 53 for the Mustangs. Drake Weston leaving it short, and a jump ball between Zane Thomas and Buckwheat. Possession arrow with the Mustangs. Slaw will come out of the game, and you have to applaud his defensive abilities tonight. He's been stellar to hound any Rich Rebel ball handler and make life difficult. Across the line, Morgan Walters, the senior, is going to be able to take point guard duties back here at the end of regulation. About 4 minutes left here in the game. Gailey working up against Carroll. Thomas, right side baseline, back up to the top right side. Walters working up against Tyler Stevens in the game, who's checked in. Drake Weston trying to poke that ball away, but will not be successful. Ball will stay with the Mustangs. Mustangs are working through their progressions on offense. They're not really in any type of rush. Gailey up to the very top for Woodrow Bear. Bear also checking into the game we haven't seen for a while. Weston goes flying out to the right after being tripped up, and that leads a lane for the Mustangs to go up with an easy deuce. 2-man basketball, 55-19. Drake Weston here on the left side wing keeps the ball high above his head, trying to keep it away from the defender Walters. Back up to the top, slowing it down, right side dribble, now right side Stevens. Stevens up to Buck, right at the top of the arc now Weston. Drake Weston with a little bit of a bump from a defender, has to collect himself back at the half-court line. Works to the right, Hoffman, a screen from Buck. An open 3 for Hayden Weston. That looked pretty, but it's just a little bit too long. Offensive rebound for Buckwheat. Buckwheat pushes it just a little bit short. And is just going to give it a little bit of a toss and a handoff after the defensive rebound into the arms of Bear. Bear spinning off of Weston and feeding into Zane Thomas. Hayden Weston with a foul as body went flying there. Just kind of bodies colliding. Weston's going to come out, so is Buckwheat. Those two have been stellar for this team, and they're going to be pulled out here with about 2 minutes left here in the ball game. Waiting, Bear in, and a push shot, just a right-handed layup into the body of the Rebels. No good by number 21, Riley Browning. Drake Weston gets blocked as he drove in with the right hand. Tyler Stevens, two dribbles, and then pulling it back out, Weston. Hoffman dribbling in, right in between 2 defenders, covered the ball up well like a running back, and then threw it up with the left hand on a nice little easy layup, 21-55. 1:40 left in the game. That's a reaching foul on Weston. And now bonus coming up here for the Manila Mustangs. Woodrow Bear. Off the front of the iron, no good. Carson Muirbrook coming down with the rebound. Back to Weston, who will man the point. Goes to his right, gets poked from behind, ball up for grabs. Stolen away by the Mustangs. Riley Browning. Backcourt violation as they pushed it into the front court and then got it right back to number 12, Woodrow Bear, who had not completely crossed the line. Zane Thomas is going to come out. Zane Mills will come in. 2 Zanes on the team. What are the odds of that? Both juniors. Little fun fact there. 1:15 left here in our ball game. The Rich Rebels are going to fall to the Manila Mustangs tonight by a substantial margin after the right side. Carson Muirbrook passed up a pass to Noah Perry and then tried to push it into the paint. It's going to be deflected out of bounds underneath the basket. Mound Valley Cattle Company inbound. Into the arms, Weston. And ball, almost like a rugby scrum, finally collected by Drake Weston. Right side, Hoffman. Dribbles once to the left, then to the right. Baseline, gets caught up in traffic, and it's going to be stolen away. White ball after a foul committed by the Rebels, trying to get the ball back. Driving into the lane and wasting no time after getting past his defender, Woodrow Bear, after the inbound. 57-21. Drake Weston here now working for the left side. Hoffman. And now the Rich Rebels are going to just kind of run through some progressions. Weston jabs to the right on the far side corner and then goes back up to the top. Hoffman collects himself. Noah Perry goes into the lane trying to get around defenders, throws it back behind himself. 0.7 seconds left in the ball game. And that will do it, as they're just going to pass the ball in here. And the game will end. Your final score, 57-21. We'll come back for a quick post-game show. Cody Olsen, Melissa Olsen here in the booth. Thanks for joining us here either online or over the airwaves on 98.3 or on mylocalradio.com. We'll come back to you in about a minute's time with some conclusions, diagnostics, and some highlights on a Bear Lake Community Health Center presentation of Rich Rebel Sports, 98.3 The Wildlife.
Hello, this is Dr. McKay Franklin. Something I've really enjoyed as a dentist over the past 20 years are the lasting friendships that I've formed with many of my patients. My staff is really great, and we try hard to make sure that every patient feels a warm welcome. It doesn't matter if it's your first visit or if you've been with us for years. Every patient is welcome and always appreciated. Our goal is to provide the best dental care possible at reasonable rates. Please call us today to schedule your appointment at 307-789-8910.
Go Red Devils!
Wyoming is unique. When it comes to high school sports, we might travel 6 hours to a game, but when we get there, we know the other team, their parents, and the coaches. Wyoming is like one small town with really long streets. When your travels take you to Evanston, always stay with your friends at the Best Western Dunmar Inn. Clean, comfortable rooms, a restaurant serving healthy, delicious food, and breakfast is always included. If you're bringing the team or following the team, stay with us every time you're in Evanston. The Best Western Dunmar Inn.
Welcome to our post-game show. Cody Olsen, Melissa Olsen, Colton Bagley back in the studio. We're going to bring you a little bit of our recap, diagnostics, and some highlights. First off on our pregame show today, the Freaky Fast recap brought to you by Jimmy John's in Evanston. Gourmet sandwiches made fresh and fast every day, 113 Front Street. The beginning of the game, the Manila Mustangs come out to an 8-point lead and go on an 8-0 run to start the game, and then a timeout taken trying to collect themselves. The Rich Rebels just seemed a little bit flustered at the beginning of the game. And Hunter Pace putting up quite a few points, actually 5 in the first quarter, trying to get the Rebels back into it. It was not enough to ignite much as the Mustangs had astounding defense. So you have to credit really Hughes, Davis, and Slaw. Those three really making it difficult for any Rich Rebel offensive play calling to come to fruition. The first half of this game was you had a couple technical fouls, a warning call on the Manila bench. It was everything you possibly could have asked for if you're looking for an intense game. At halftime, the Manila Mustangs up 32-12, and then just kind of didn't look back. I mean, fast break points, stealing the ball away from Rich Rebel ball handlers before they could even work it into the paint. The Manila Mustangs worked their way in transition to easy points. Your final score, the Manila Mustangs 57, Rich 21. That is your Jimmy John's Freaky Fast recap. And now your precision play of the game. We're going to go ahead and give it to Hunter Pace's first 5 points. That was off of a huge 3. 3 minutes remaining in the first, and just brought quite a bit of life. A nice little floater, a 3-pointer, and just kind of get the ball, trying to get things back into it. That was the spark that the Rebels at least thought they needed in that moment. It was not enough to kind of bring them back into striking distance. That's our Dr. McKay Frankham precision play of the game, brought to you by Affordable Precision Family Dentistry. Call today for an appointment at 307-789-8910. Now for our Town of Garden City player of the game. That's where families play at beautiful Bear Lake. Visit gardencity.ut.us. The Rich Rebels struggled with points tonight, but they really looked to their seniors to try and keep a level head. And Riley Carrillo, in the face of adversity, tried to do his absolute very best, put his head down, did not complain, put in some good work. Offensive rebounds came in bunches for Carrillo, as he was the one that was really competing with Hughes and Davis and company in getting those rebounds. As a senior, Riley Carrillo, not only in this game but in other games before, has been incredibly level-headed and has tried to keep his team in a position where they can stay calm. That is going to be your player of the game, brought to you by the Town of Garden City, where families play at beautiful Bear Lake. Visit gardencity.ut.us. On behalf of Colton Bagley, back in the studio, Cody Olsen and my beautiful wife, Melissa Olsen, our camera lady tonight, we'll say thank you for joining us here this week. Don't forget, the Rich Rebels back in action next week as region play will continue. And if you're not sick of me yet, which I would not blame you if you are, if you want to see me, catch me tomorrow at Addicted Power Sports for their grand opening event. Our live coverage, me and Elin Olive will be there covering what will be free food, giveaways for accessories for motorsports, and just all around good fun. We'll see if I can get my Vespa that I have been dreaming about so very much lately. If you want to see me, catch me tomorrow at Addicted Power Sports, right in where the old Cycle City was in Evanston. Thank you so much, and as always, go Rebels.
The proceeding has been a wholly owned production of MyLocalRadio.com and Cook Brothers Broadcasting, no portion of which may be used or rebroadcast without the express written consent of Old West Media Incorporated. Thank you for joining us on this Bear Lake Community Health Center presentation of Rich Rebel Sports on MyLocalRadio.com. Until next time.